give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome, episode 10, Fuel from a Fire podcast.
Done it.
We're on double
Done
digits.
It,
double digits.
The big X.
It's quite a
Big
proud
X.
achievement, actually.
Done it. I know.
For
Look at
our
that.
10 listeners.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
10. My mum and whoever
Yeah,
else.
my sister.
My mum actually is quite depressing. My mum actually said, "Oh, it's all right. I don't hear from you all the time. I just listen to your podcast if I want to hear your voice now anyway."
That's both sad and also quite sweet.
Yeah. No, I love you, Mum. I know you're listening to this.
You will
Don't
be
worry.
in 2 weeks' time when it drops.
2 weeks time when it drops. Don't worry.
Unless you're in the walls somewhere, then that'd be weird.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past my mum to be in the walls, actually. She's a terrifying woman. No, I love you, really. I know.
But you've got a great person into the world, so you know.
Yeah. No, but yeah, all good. All
So
good.
yeah, episode 10. We're obviously in the Griffin, as we always are. It'd be,
Always.
you know, if we weren't in the Griffin, I think we'd have a...
It'd be. I think that would be more noteworthy. But yeah, John's very ill upstairs. Apparently, we send John our healing wishes. He has been struck down by the lurgy which is going around, which you can probably hear in my voice. I'm recovering from as well, and hopefully my cough doesn't come back while I'm in the middle of recording this. But.
And John, I think you should probably have some of your dark beer to help kick the crap out of that
Do
lurgy.
medieval peasant, just put some leeches on him, get some dark beer in him.
So to say, some double bastard, whatever.
Right. Okay, that's how we're. All right, we're going medieval. We're trying to cure this.
I mean, it worked, right? You either worked or you
do an
died. So
exorcism.
yeah.
We'll go give carrots to a witch.
There's a drink downstairs called Witch's Fingers, and it's bright green.
I got slightly drunk on it the other night.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, it is bright green, which took me off guard.
Yeah.
It was odd. So episode 10. Congrats, we made it. Woo.
I know. Hey, hello, Danny. And Danny's on mic.
I am on mic.
It's a very special occasion. Danny is on mic.
She is.
As we today we are going to be doing our kind of usual episode, but also our end of year roundup.
Because by the time this comes out, it's basically nearly Christmas, and I think it's a good time to get in before everyone else does it. So why not?
Yeah.
And it's round 10 is a good number to do it. So why the hell not?
Yeah.
So how's your week been? What have you been doing?
Well, apart from being massively ill for 24 hours.
Good thing you managed to kick the crap out of that, though.
No, well, drug myself up, paracetamol and codeine, and just trying to sweat it out. Look, it works for me. Obviously, doesn't always work for everyone. I think also I got quite lucky because I know Danny got really ill, high.
Horrendous.
I was legit concerned about your welfare. You were in a bad way.
I was lucky. I mean, obviously, I got pretty bad, but not as bad as you. So I seem to have kind of had a slightly more mild version of it than other people have had. Yeah, it's that time of year. You know how it is, folks. It's fucking eating its way through Bristol at the moment. Everyone's
Absolutely.
getting down with it. Everyone's got a cough. Everyone's getting bad temperatures. Everyone's fucking... and then the issue is you don't even... You've already passed it to other people before you even knew that you had it. And, I had to apologise for everyone at the studio because, as soon as I found out about Danny and my mate Kieran becoming ill, who I'd just hung out with, I was like... Well, that's that then. I was like, I definitely have it. And then I had to go to the studio. I was like, really sorry, guys. You've already been working with me for a week.
You're probably getting ill.
I'm probably going to get ill.
I think at this time of year, it's kind of a given that you're going to get
I know, it's
ill.
shit, isn't it? But yeah, unfortunately, it is just kind of how it is these days. Just...
Yeah.
Which, shout out to our what's the word I'm looking for?
Sponsors?
Yes. Soon. One day, Tom. One day. Our people, our fans and listeners who suffer from immunity issues.
That's gotta suck.
This whole time of year is basically just like a no.
Stay away from me.
Yeah, all the time.
And
I do feel bad because talking about gigs and stuff, we've got plenty of people I know who literally basically have to write off going to gigs almost completely.
And basically going
at this time
outside.
of year because they're just everyone's going to be ill at the gig and no one's without getting into the whole mask debate, no one's wearing masks and stuff. No, I saw, to be fair, I saw some people moshing out we're going to talk about the Fit for an Autopsy gig. I saw some people moshing out in the pit but with masks on, which I was like, that's cool and great. Does that work? I was like, I'm not sure. How good is that mask? Like,
It's also going to be quite uncomfortable because you're going to be sweaty
yeah,
and
sweaty
hot.
as fuck, and then like, yeah, it was an interesting one. But anyway,
I respect the sentiment
yeah,
of
respect,
it, though.
100% respect, but it's just an interesting one of like,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you've got one of those proper hardcore ones on, I'm not sure.
I like Bane.
Yeah. It's like a gas mask, yeah.
Cybergoths have been doing it for years.
I know, right? Yeah, I've got to bring the. That's what you got to do, right? It's like because is you've got to make the mask part of your fit, so you got to have like a proper like hardcore like kind of lower face like gas mask or something.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
that also work.
Yeah, but with an air filter.
Yeah, that's less blood and guts.
But yeah, sorry to go back to your original question. Yeah, my week's been all right. You know, busy, working. You know, I've just been very chill.
Have you managed to book your December with?
Yeah, fully booked now. So
Excellent,
I've been working some overtime. Here's how funny it is. You get used to working a certain amount of time. So I've been working 4 days. We're very lucky, very privileged that I can work 4 days a week. As I said, I think on the last one, for like the last couple of years. And I've been able to kind of afford my rent and bills just about. You know, I'm still pretty broke, but it's nice. I get to work 4 days a week. I'm now working 5 days a week, for 3 weeks in December. Oh my god! I feel like this is it. I feel like I've become a fucking I'm an Oliver Twist out here, like a fucking urchin having to like work myself to death in a fucking in a cotton mill because I'm just like, what do you mean I have to only have 2 days off this week? I don't understand. So yeah, no, it's funny. That's why bring on the 4-day work week, which apparently they are slowly trying to bring into place.
A few of the councils are looking into it, aren't they?
Wales are definitely trying to do it, yeah. And they keep on trying to shut it down because they know it works every single time. Because
I think Sweden did,
people's
didn't they?
productivity goes up. Like, so obviously the idea is you make it a 4-day work week, but you don't lose your pay.
Yeah.
So you get paid
You do the same hours than before.
But you just do less hours, yeah. And it proven everywhere. Productivity goes up, happiness goes up, everyone's
morale
better,
goes up.
Everyone's ill less,
Yeah.
everyone's like gets more holiday, everyone's like taking less sick days, blah blah blah. Of course, capitalism despises any of that concept at all.
No, we need to work you to the bone.
Well, exactly. Really, what they want is to go the other ways. We go back
work
to
for free.
I brought up Oliver Twist. We go back to the Keynesian ways, and there's no weekend at all and no sick pay, and you fucking work, you peasant.
And do you want money for work?
Yeah.
Oh no.
More.
Please, sir,
Do you
can I
know
have some
what?
more,
I know I'm
please?
joking about it, but not to get too political, it is genuinely terrifying how I feel more year on year, especially when it gets to winter, how we're, especially here in England, how we're actually kind of going back to that a little bit, you know. Oh dear. Anyway,
Yeah.
what about you, Tom?
I've been very, very good actually. It's I've been quite excited about today. I don't know, there was something in the air. I had a 10-hour meeting today at work. 10 hours straight, no lunch, nothing, just straight through. And
Meeting?
I was sitting there the whole time, kind of listening, paying attention to what I was supposed to do. And then I was just like, I'm doing episode 10 of the podcast. That's fucking
It's
cool,
just
man.
daydreaming at Airbus.
Oh, you need me to do something? Oh, crap. What was that again? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, I'm not sure if you ever. I only found out when we were hanging out. Or it's either that you told me, and my rotten goldfish brain just couldn't hold in the information that you work at Airbus.
Yeah, I design airplanes.
You design airplanes. I swear you've not talked about that on the podcast before.
Nope.
Tom designs airplanes, everyone. It's really interesting.
Yes, I designed the wings of the aircraft that you fly on. So yeah.
Wow, I'm sort of scared of flying. So it's alright. Now when I'm on a plane and it starts going down in flames, I'll be like, "Damn you, Tom!"
That's if it's a Boeing.
Damn you! Just know, Tom, if I do die in a plane crash, I'm cursing you with my dying breath.
You'll haunt me forever, right?
I will haunt you to the bitter end.
What if you're flying in a Boeing, though? I'm just saying, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Not to do
fuck!
with
God damn it! They're the ones that do crash.
and grounded and so on and so forth. Anyway,
Then I'll still haunt you, but it'll be more like a revenge haunting, where to get rid of me, you have to go and like kill like all the high level members of Boeing. To, like,
I could
get
do
rid of
that.
me. Yeah. So, like,
get paid for industrial espionage.
Yeah, exactly.
Industrial espionage. I don't know. Who knows?
Assassination, I guess.
So yeah, it's been
Yeah.
It's
All
all,
in 10 hour, and now you're looking forward to it, and now we're here doing the podcast.
Exactly, and it's been a good few weeks really. We've had quite a few gigs we've been to, and I don't know if you've been to any.
No,
I've definitely been to quite a few.
Well, I was supposed to go to the Dying Fetus one last night, but I was too ill, so.
That's a shame.
Yeah, Finn downstairs went, obviously amazing. Just to give a quick recount, obviously it was really good because it's despised icon, Chelsea Grin and Dying Fetus. So obviously it was mad. Apparently
spent
like
a lot of
3
money
people
there.
had to get carted out of the mosh pit
Really?
during despised icon. It got so heavy. And it
Bloody
pretty
hell.
much kept up that energy all the way through. Because it's 3 insanely heavy bands. just absolutely going ham on the market.
Broken noses, ribs,
I don't know, he said, carted out. I don't know exactly what he meant by that, but various injuries throughout the night. A lot of pitting, a lot of finger guns, a lot of bleh, and a lot of breakdowns, and then from dying fetus, a lot of insane death metal. So there you go.
It's contained in
I'm gutted.
bloodshed,
I'm
isn't
absolutely gutted, but I just was too ill to go.
Yeah,
I just was too ill to go.
That's a shame because you were looking forward to it. You talked about that for months.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to it, but it happens. It happens. That's how it works out. Sometimes you miss the gigs. And I think in a weird way, the universe owed Finn one because Finn somehow managed to sleep through the fact that he had a ticket to Diarte's murder and fit for an autopsy in Whitechapel that time.
I remember that.
I was messaging him going, like, where are you? And he was like, what? And I was like, I sent him a video of Whitechapel on stage going like, you're not at the gig. And he was like, oh, is that tonight? And I was like, yeah, mate, like Whitechapel are already on stage. And he was like, oh, I slept, so I didn't realise.
Funnily, with that gig, you were obviously there.
Yeah.
Whitechapel came out and they basically blew the power in the speakers in the first song.
Yeah.
And they were all just sort of going, fuck, I don't know what to do. Someone fix it, please.
Yeah. But then, to be fair, I thought they got it up and running pretty quickly again, to be fair.
They did.
Anyway, not to go back to old gigs. But yeah, so Finn basically kind of owed holding a gig over my head for a while. So I feel like in a way the universe has kind of struck me down for making fun of Finn for missing that gig for so long, and now he gets to make fun of me for...
Yeah, but you didn't sleep through it. Well, you kind of slept
through it.
But
I kind of did. Yeah.
You intentionally slept through it.
Yeah. But no, so apart from that honourable mention to that gig that none of us went to.
Yeah.
No, apparently it was very good.
I mean, I've been to 3 in the last week.
Have you?
I have.
Oh, you've been busy.
Yeah, I caught funnily enough, last episode I was like, what on earth is sludge grind?
Oh, yeah.
So the headlining band that was here in the Griffin called Gorgon Christ, you kind of look at the name and kind of go, that's going to be black metal or, Hail Satan kind of stuff. It was not, it was this sludge grind stuff. I had no idea what to expect because sludge is kind of slow, thick, heavy guitars. Grind is obviously like fucking blast beats and, rage. I was like, this is going to be a bit weird, but we missed the first 2 bands because we weren't actually planning to come in, but anyway, we caught the end of Gorgon Christ, and they were really good. I think it's a new genre I actually quite like. It works really surprisingly well.
Told you.
Yeah.
And you were so confused, like, how does it even work?
Yeah, me and you, Danny, were just like, what do you not know what sludge grind is? And then we were, how does it work? It's like, it's sludge grind.
It's sludge, just with grind.
Yeah,
I was like, but they don't work together, but they do. I'll eat my hat. I'm not wearing a hat, thankfully, so I can't eat it. But yeah, they were very good. Proper piss take band. Bunch of friends having fun.
Great.
Bunch of older dudes. I think they had a song about Bryan Adams, and the whole lyrics of the song were, look at Bryan Adams, he's a wanker, he's wanking out the window.
Nice.
And then just blast beats kick in, and then guttural vocals and black metal. I was like, cool.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, that was actually awesome. I quite enjoyed that. What else have we been to? The one with Danii, which we talked about, which was the Pitch Shifter gig. So that was Malavora, Black Gold, and Pitch Shifter.
Yeah.
In Tekla.
Yeah.
So lots of things going on here. Danii, do you want to start on this one?
Okay, so annoyingly, I missed the first band, which I'm really annoyed at myself for that because I've been told they were really good. So you'll have to explain about that one. But the rest of it was incredible. Like Pitch Shifter, I've wanted to see them for such a long time.
Was that your first time seeing them?
It is, yeah. Black Gold, fucking on point.
They were class.
They were really good.
They're really good.
Pitch Shifter are also really good, but you could tell that they're getting on a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Pitch Shifter
53,
been
he said.
Yeah.
How many decades have Pitch Shifter been going? 3?
30.
Yeah.
3 decades,
I
yeah.
think they got together late 80s, didn't they?
Late 80s, early 90s, yeah.
But it got to a point that he was just like getting the crowd to sing everything.
He started with, my voice is a bit fucked, you're going to have to help me out.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like, they played all the belters, and I realised I know a lot more of their songs than I thought I did.
It's weird, isn't it? Because Pitch Shifter, once again, are one of those bands I feel like I don't listen to very often, but then if you play me Pitch Shifter,
if I put it on the stereo now, like...
I know that song,
exactly.
I know that song, yeah.
And the tour, they were basically just having quite a bit of fun with it, so, you know...
Exactly. I mean, they know what they are. They've been, like I say, 30 fucking years. Like, I'm only 35. That band's been going, like...
Longer than you.
I was literally, you
were part of Daddy's balls.
5 years old. In theory, I was 5 years old when that band first started playing, so...
he even kind of made a joke about it at one stage. He was like, right, everyone put your hands up. Everyone put their hands up. He's like, put your hands down if you're under 20. No hands went down.
Yeah.
Under 30. No hands went down. Under 40, a few people went down. He's like, I beat you fuckers, I'm 53.
You just reminded me, actually, as they came on, one of the guys next to me went, fuck, you're old.
Yeah, it was a very good gig by him. I like the fact that they have their own beer, Pitch Shifter beer. It's brewed by Moore, which is obviously Bristol based.
I didn't know that.
So it was actually good beer as well. It was a session IPA.
Hell. Okay.
And again, he referenced that. He was like, "Who's here drinking our beer?"
He's out here selling. They've gotten to that age now. They're out here selling the goods.
And even Tekla, they had I just want to say like a little shrine, behind the bar. You could see.
I bet they do that with every venue. I bet part of the thing is, can you sell some pitch shifter beer? Can the bar have pitch shifter beer on?
Oh yeah, it's a great idea. The other thing they did, which I thought was really cool, they obviously just need a bit of money, was if you looked at the merch store, they had like one t-shirt of the current tour, and then they had a whole heap of old stuff that they couldn't sell from all tours, that they were selling for like $5. It was like, fucking have it.
You know what a better way?
Yeah.
Tell you what, guys, weird little tangent, but you know what a better way of dealing with that is, that I've realised that everyone's obsessed with? Mystery bags. If you're an older band, right? Weirdly, do you know why I know this? In general, people love a mystery bag of stuff,
or a lucky dip,
right? Or a lucky dip bag, right? But weirdly enough, from Tyler the Creator, the rapper, because he has his own fashion line, he has Dolph, which he's had for fucking forever, is that I've noticed people go crazy for because his stuff's quite expensive, because it's very good. He's really fashion-based kind of rapper. But they basically do these mystery, 2 or 3 bag t-shirts for $50 or $60.
Yeah.
So in theory, you spend $60 on just one t-shirt. So it's like, here's a and basically that's what they do. It's all
just
the old stuff,
merch.
the stuff that they didn't sell, but people get it, and maybe there's some stuff in there that's a bit better, because it's some of it will just be merch that never sold. Some of it might be merch that was good but never sold.
Yeah.
But so if you go mystery bag with it, I'm just telling you now, if you're in a band or whatever or anything, sell a mystery bag to people. Tell them, here's a mystery bag for 20 quid, which is the price of a t-shirt, but they get more than a t-shirt.
And you just don't know what you're getting.
But they don't know what they're getting. Tell you right now, people go fucking crazy.
I buy it.
Exactly. So you're like, ooh, bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was quite fun though. They're just
Yeah, there you go.
Funnily enough, because last time they were in Bristol, I think it was 2018, and myself and my friend were there as well.
Yeah.
And we were trying to think about it. We were like, was that the last time they were here? Was this the last time we saw them? We should buy that t-shirt, because it's $5, and we were at that gig, so it's
I tell you, you'd be like, well, it was at this one.
You remember he made the jokes we only play every 5 years, so I'll see you guys in 2030.
yeah.
Which is probably true, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yes, sorry, I interrupted there. Tell me more about your experience of it.
Yeah, I mean,
You were in the pit.
I did. I moshed for the first time. It was great.
Wow.
It was so good. I've been a pussy for far too fucking long.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And at the beginning of the gig, as soon as guys came on, so I heard that guy make that fucking old comment, and then someone in front of me got very excited and threw their drink, and I was the only fucker in the firing line, so I got covered in black, black. And, it was really refreshing. I didn't mind that much.
Not too sticky then.
It was a little bit sticky, but I can cope with sticky. That's fine. But
What do you think of Black Gold?
Fucking awesome. I've actually been listening to them a little bit since.
I'm surprised they were supporting Pitch Shifter. It kind of makes sense, but it kind of they're a pretty big up and coming band.
They've been coming for a while though.
They've been going for a while, sure, but I guess I still count them as an up and coming band. They've gotten into, I guess if you think of tiers of how big bands are, it feels like they've gotten into that kind of second, maybe third-ish tier of bands and what they support. But it's just more I reckon that they would more. I'd more likely see them supporting a younger. In a weird way, they'd make more sense on the Dying Fetus bill. Do you know what I mean? The kid, I know they're completely different, but they're a much younger band. Yeah. The kids know who they are. Didn't think the older generation had a fucking clue who Black Gold was. So that makes sense.
I'm not sure they're that young, because
I mean, no, I don't mean the band members are, but I mean who their normal crowd is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember seeing them at 2000 Trees, and it was definitely a much pitch back, we're talking the 25-year-olds were all there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. It's just I'm just surprised that it's cool. It's a great thing that they were supporting, because I like them a lot. But
they're back in February actually.
What, are they headlining this time?
No, they're support again, and that'll be the third time in Bristol that we support.
Yeah.
Siamese is the headline. I've never heard Siamese.
I've heard of Siamese.
No, but Black Gold are the support.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go just for Black Gold, because they are fun. They're good.
Yeah.
If you don't know, listeners, they're new metal, but with more influence from R&B and rap.
Yeah. Like it's hip hop, metalcore, hip hop, new metal. Yeah. It's pretty rap metal. It's rap metal.
They did a really good cover of a Cypress Hill song.
They do,
I can't
Insane in the Membrane.
Yeah. Oh my, that was awesome.
I love one of their songs as well. I can't remember what it's called now. I was listening throughout the week. They do like they've got like synths and keyboards and all sorts of DJs and all sorts of shit going on. And they've got like something going in over the vocals over the top, and it's like, what was that song that Korn did back in the day with the massive breakdown? It's like, oh yeah, it's Freaking Elite, and he just goes, go! Just boom happens. It's like,
but I love it when bands do a bit of that. Like, they're a lot of fun. I mean, in a funny way, like Black Gold, I think maybe they kind of know what they are, which is like they know they're never going to be the biggest band in the world. But they know they're always going to be like a pretty solidly big like main support band that draws in a lot of people.
I mean, for that gig, for the Siamese one, I would go entirely for Black Gold.
I honestly,
they were fun.
I got to be honest, I didn't realise, because I've just been busy and I can't really keep up to date with stuff at the moment because I've got a bit too much going on. I didn't realise they were the main support for Pitch Shifter.
Nor did I, actually.
They kind of went through the cracks for me. But yeah, like Black Gold, if I see them on a bill, I definitely want to see them again. Really
I would highly recommend people go listen. They're very fun.
A bit of fun metal, like definitely like good stuff for the gym, good stuff for like just bopping along in the car, for sure.
And then you had opening act for Malavora, they were called.
I've heard of them.
They were okay. They were very Evanescence. So the vocalist.
Wow, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. So the vocalist, if you close your eyes, you kind of think Evanescence style. But then every so often she got a little bit more guttural in her vocals, which was nice to touch. They had like a kind of boom and bass. But they were nothing special. It was a bit kind of meh.
Okay, they just kind of came and went. And,
they were fine.
Well, funny enough, there's a band I'm going to pretty much say the same thing about in the Fit for an Autopsy gig. So
I think I know who that is. We're going to have a different take on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we move on though, Tekla, what do you think of the venue?
That was the first.
Oh, was it at the Thekla?
It was, yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was at the Fleece for some reason.
I'd never been to the Thekla.
Really?
Before.
It's fun. I like the Thekla.
It's such a cool venue.
It's fun. I get like it has a bit of a bad rap from people, I think, because it's normally like very like student clubs. There's loads of student club nights. It has a bit of a bad rap with its security because they like ID really like heavily and
because they get a lot of students in.
Exactly. No, which is totally fine. Of course they should. But anyway, it's just in Bristol. It's always I think had a bit of a bad rap. I've got to be honest. I haven't been there like to go to a gig in a gazillion years. One of the last times I remember going there for a gig was years ago, and it was the Bronx with the main support from Ghost of 1,000, which should tell you kind of what era of time I'm talking about. I just remember having a great time there.
It's I can't recommend the venue. It's good,
and it's on a boat.
Exactly, it's a really small, intimate venue. Excellent sound.
But it's got
good
stage. It's got a good stage.
You can see from everywhere, and it was fantastic.
In fact, actually, because at one point I was actually quite far back in the crowd, and they've got speakers set up so you can actually hear as if you're right by the stage.
Good.
And also, you can just go upstairs up to the main bar as well, the upper deck kind of thing. It was It's actually
solid. The Thekla's a solid venue.
It's one of the things you're supposed to do as a Bristolian is go to a gig in Thekla. It's like it's up there. We're going to see Suspension Bridge and stuff, and I can see why it is.
Thekla's a really solid venue.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
But also, seemingly, unfortunately, might be one of the only venues that doesn't get shut down just because it's so out of the way.
And also does the club nights and student nights.
Well, I mean, more is in the fact that, in theory, touch wood.
It's not
knock on wood. It's not close to any. It can't be close to any development.
Hard to build student flats in the water.
Yeah, exactly, right? So don't say that.
Yeah.
Because they're going to...
there's a big old water there.
Build some fucking barges that just float around with student flats, so if they could somehow monopolise the river, they'd fucking do it.
Jesus, can you imagine a bunch of students staying on the river?
Oh, God, no.
That would be...
They're already fucking fall in it enough as it is.
So yeah, that was an excellent gig. That was all around very, very good. As I said, Pitch It Beer on, very nice as well. Try that if you come across it. Then the other big gig which me and you, Taylor, were at was obviously Harriet Darkest Hour Silos Fit for an Autopsy at SWX.
Aye. It was good.
Do you want your thoughts first?
There was a lot of people there that we knew as well. Yeah, it was really good. Obviously, I went for the whole thing because I really wanted to see all the bands. So Harriet came on. They had a decent crowd. I've got to be honest, because they're very well known in Bristol. Obviously, like I say, one of their members lives in Bristol. He's really well known in the scene.
Which one?
The bassist vocalist.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I've forgotten his name. But yeah, really, he's really sound. I've bumped into him a few. He's the one I've joked about bumping into.
The person from Harriet, yeah.
Yeah. And Harriet are great. They're really fun.
Live, they're fucking excellent.
They're great, right? I told you,
really
like
good.
I said, and like their music's really great. It's this kind of weird. How would you describe Harriet? Like this kind of. Because it's kind of doomy, but not doomy.
Her vocals are very black.
Yeah, but it's like doomy black metal, but with like kind of
Hardcore
hardcore, like punching drums and like these interesting time signatures.
Yeah.
Like, especially the drummer. Like a lot of people really rate him because like a lot of what makes that sound is the fact they do a lot of this like kind of off-key stuff. So they'll drum, like they'll go off a note and go quiet on a note you wouldn't normally, and then come back in like the note after.
And
like,
he can pound as well if he really wants to.
Like you can hear his drums really, and that sound needs that rattling, like pounding kind of drum thing through. So Harriet are great. Once again, love to see
They're
them.
way better live than their album, because listen to the album after that.
Really, do you not find it did it justice? I thought it was pretty solid.
I thought live was way better. It's still a good album, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah. I mean, but live, they are really
And
good.
I think SWX suited them really well.
Of course,
the
but they were
was
really good. Like I said, when I saw them headline Strange Brew, which is a much smaller venue, but when they were doing their little headline tour, they're really crushingly heavy in there as well. Like, whoever they've got doing their sound for them obviously knows what they're doing when they go to
knows what the sound should be.
Yeah. So love Harriet, love to see them rising up. All power to them. I hope they keep.
They're going to go far, I think, if they keep going.
They're going to go really far. Yeah,
I think they will.
Then we go into Darkest Hour, which is the one we're going to disagree on.
Yeah.
So I'd heard a bit of Darkest Hour, but I never really heard much of them. But I was looking forward to them. I knew that I'd heard good things. Once again, it's not that they were bad. They just came out and did 2010, early 2010s metalcore, and then that's all it was. From start to finish, and especially just like we're just talking about Harriet with these interesting drum patterns and these riffs and these kind of things, and it just all kind of sounded a bit the same.
I totally agree with you on that.
Drummer basically played the same fill every song, same drum pattern every song, and it was fine, but just mid.
That's kind of what I liked about it though, because Darkest Hour have been around for about 20-25
I
years.
know, yeah, they've been around for a while. But it was a throwback, but I would say maybe a throwback not in a maybe the best way. Like maybe more like a band who hasn't been able to evolve their sound at all.
I 100% agree with you, but also I kind of like the fact they haven't evolved.
Yeah. I mean, I was never that big a fan of them in the first place. Maybe if I'd grown up with them a bit more and I was more like into like their lore and their discography, I would have been more up for it. But yeah, it was fine. Like I said, it's not bad. It was just for me a bit mid. It was like, okay, cool. Those guys are on. They've done their thing.
I personally liked them, but I was excited by them anyway. They were one of the ones I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
But then I met the guitar player at the merch stand afterwards.
Yeah.
And A, he was hammered, but B, I got talking to him and he was like, "Do you want to drink something?" He was like, "Yeah, man, I'll have a fucking Jack Daniels." Like, fucking hell, we're having Jack Daniels then.
Yeah.
And he like leaned over the merch stand. He gave me some free merch as well, actually, which was very nice of him.
Nice.
It's only a beer cozy thing to keep your can cold and your hand warm.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a fucking great time. It was just like,
cool.
He's like, "Oh man, you know, it's been a really cool crowd." It was like, I mean, I wanted to see you for like 20-something years. He's like, "Oh, you've been waiting that long?" I was like, "Well, you don't fucking toured here, so you've only come back and seen recently." So good. So I liked them personally, but that was only just because it was a throwback.
Throwback once again. If I was into them more maybe back in the day, then I would have been a bit more like excited about the whole thing. Then I guess we move on to Silosis, who, I'll be honest, don't get me wrong, fit for an autopsy work, I'm going to come on to them, but band of the night for me. Like, it really was something else. Like, once again, Silosis, it's a bit similar to like what I said about Pitch. Like, they've always been a band that are around, and a band that I know I've listened to, but for whatever reason, they've never been a band that I've like focused on, or kind of gone, I'm going to listen to Silosis, I'm going to try and watch Silosis. And after that night, I don't know why. Because they're that good. They're insane.
Absolutely.
Like, it's mathcore, it's black metal, it's the kind of black and hardcore thing, it's like clean vocals, guttural vocals. Also,
firing
that main
bass
guy, whatever his fucking name is, the singer, the fact that he can sing and he's also like the lead tech guitarist.
And his lead playing is insane. He's
like,
sweep picking and tapping at the same time.
And then singing and then doing this, and it's like fucking absolutely...
Josh Middleton's his name,
something like that. Is it? Sure that's not the comedian?
I don't think so.
Josh Middleton. I think that's the comedian with the curly hair. I mean, it might
be.
But yeah, so...
I love Silosis. So, like, I've seen them before. It took them 2 or 3 songs to get the sound completely perfect, but once they were on form, it was absolutely
I mean, apparently
nails.
half the members he's got with him are new.
All of them were.
What? They quit, or is that just band illness or something?
A bit of Silosis lore, really. I remember Silosis. This is one of those...
They've been going for a minute, haven't they?
They've been going for quite a while, So when they originally were out, 15, 20 years ago, something like that, I don't know what happened between them, but basically they all fell apart. The drummer went on to Bleed From Within.
Oh, really?
Josh went on to... Was it Architects he went to?
Oh, really?
He went to another band and basically
Like
made a massive...
A big band, yeah.
And then was like, I want to do Silosis again. And as soon as he said that, I was like, no way, because they just went complete hiatus.
Okay, so that's why it is. So they basically weren't a band for a while.
Yeah, a long time they weren't a band.
Okay, cool.
And they basically came back on. We're like, we're going to be Silosis again.
Nice.
But, we're going to start at the bottom.
And
And
new members and stuff, and
let our music speak for itself.
Those new members are good.
Those
new members are great. Those new members are really, really good. He shouted them all out because it's their first tour.
It was,
together. So very happy to see them. Very happy to see Silosis, and I will now be a Silosis fan, and I will be watching them and listening to them.
They're excellent. I highly recommend them to all listeners. They're really technical. And it just hits you in the soul.
It was so good. It was so good, just like from start to finish, just visceral, really enjoy. And honestly, just kicking myself, going, how the fuck did I let this band slip by me back in the day? Because I remember them being around when they first started coming out. I don't know how I've let that band get by me.
The lead singer came out the day after and he was like, thank you, Bristol, you really brought it. Like, the crowd were insane. And he was like, I'm really sorry, I fucked up the intro to one of the songs. We're like,
no, I don't think anyone noticed. I think everyone was too busy kicking the shit out of each other.
There was a lot of crowd surfers.
There was a lot. I mean, it got pretty bonkers.
There was a wall of death as well at one stage.
Yeah.
Which is,
Got a wall of death going, had multiple circle pits, they were great.
He just comes out and he just goes up the fucking floor and go now.
But they got, they had that, even though I didn't even though I didn't know who they were, I'm sure there were plenty of people who didn't really know who Silosis were, because a bunch of kids obviously that weren't around when they first came out, but that he commanded the stage so well, they commanded the stage so well, that he said something like that, they were playing, they were so just
entranced
owning the stage that the crowd oh yeah, of course, we have to do this now.
You tell me to throw my beer right now, I will.
Okay, here we go. And then I guess we have to the big headliner boys of the night.
Fit for an Autopsy.
They were amazing. Don't get me wrong. I did say Silosis with the back, but it was funny enough. A friend of mine who I was with at that gig, he leant into me as Silosis were kind of finishing, and he goes, Fit for an Autopsy, I'm going to top that. And he technically was right, but they gave it a really, it was a close run thing. In the sense of, they were really good.
They were.
The only reason that Fit for an Autopsy weren't, the band of the night was
because Silosis split four.
Just absolutely, just kind of did an 11 out of 10 performance for me.
Yeah.
But they gave a 10 out of 10 performance.
100%.
It was so good. It's great to see them headline, getting along, because obviously loved them, I've loved them for a while. Loved them when I saw them supporting The Artist Murder, which I know you were at as well. They're a great band. They seem like really nice guys as well. Really
very humble,
chill.
and
humble, but also they seem like pretty good guys. Which I'll be honest, in the deathcore scene, unfortunately, sometimes can be a bit lacking. They seem like fairly conscious guys. They don't seem like assholes, and they don't seem to have a lot of really shady right wing views or a lot of horrible cases surrounding them. So, which unfortunately in the deathcore scene is a little bit of a thing. So,
and they actually enjoy going exploring the city and seeing what the city has to offer,
doing stuff and but they were just great. They just came out, absolutely smashed it.
One of the things I love about them is I don't know how they do it, but it's kind of a deathcore sound anyways. When the bass just goes boom. And then it's just fucking carnage afterwards. But it's carnage, but you can hear it. It's all. It's really technical stuff.
It's very. It's a lot more technical than people think it is.
Absolutely.
Kind of
Their set list was good.
Very good. Yeah, really solid set list. Old stuff, new stuff. A couple of the new songs, which obviously are really good.
Much better live, actually.
I thought so. Once again, the same like you said about Harriet. Unfortunately, sometimes the recording stuff just doesn't.
It just doesn't give it the wallop.
It doesn't give it the wallop. I mean, that's the thing that we've said all along, though, is like recordings obviously always can't do that. Especially for some of the heavier stuff or heavy music in general. Live is always going to be the way to really see it. Especially, live with a good sound system. Is, well done. But
speaking of good sound, SWX kicks ass.
Yeah, again, knocked it out the park again. Harriet sounded great. Darkest Hour sounded great. Obviously, they sounded great. Silosis sounded amazing, and Fit for an Autopsy sounded amazing.
I love the fact that no matter where you are in that venue, you can hear it perfectly.
I mean, the same thing to the Thekla that what you were talking about earlier is obviously SWX have that thing where they have banks of speakers. So if you're standing further back, you know, they have speakers that are there as well, so you can.
Which is the same speakers that's connected to the rest of the system. It's a really good system.
Yeah.
And even that little side walkway that I found you
they've
at.
got speakers in there. Yeah.
You're like stood right next to the
That's
stage.
why I always go to that. So if people end up going to SWX, basically, if you go, you never go to the left-hand side. The left-hand side is a terrible way to go around because there's another bar around that corner, and there's always people like get really like knotted up there, and you can't get anywhere.
The back bar is actually easier to get to.
Back bar is easier to get to. If you want to stand and you don't want to, and you're short, especially if you're short like me, I always go to the right hand side. You go up the little set of stairs, and it's basically like a slightly like mini. It's not a balcony exactly, but like just a raised.
It's just slightly raised area.
And basically, you can position yourself, even if there's already people stood at the edge. You can still position yourself so you get a great view of the stage. And because of the speaker setup, you can still hear it all perfectly.
Absolutely.
And it's just, for me, it's where I always go, just because it's like, unless I'm going to like mosh, which is rare these days, but like if I'm going to go, I'm always stood at that area, because I'm sure if I go like into the flat bit, there's inevitably there's going to be some twat who's your height stands in front of me, and then
I'm 6'1" and Tails 4 foot nothing. Just for saying.
How dare you? I am 5'5" on a good day. I will have you know. You know, I'm 5'5" in the summer because it's warmer. But really good. Fit for an Autopsy are great. I'm looking forward to them getting bigger as well. I mean, I know say that they're headlining, but like,
they're going to, in a few years' time, they're going to get into bigger up to the festival stages.
I think it'd be really interesting to see where they're going as well. You know,
they're
a really good
solid
gig all in all.
I loved it,
and actually a gig that's probably going to come back up in a bit because.
Funnily enough, I was thinking the same.
Yeah. So
wasn't going to go there just yet, but I had a great night. It was so much fun.
No, it's really good. And from top to bottom, I think that's one of the things that really made it for me. So the whole, like I said, sure, Darkest Hour weren't my thing, but they were still like good.
They were,
but like, you know, especially Harriet, Silosis, Fit for an Autopsy, like all on the same thing, all in one night for me on its own was just like, you know, awesome. Yeah.
If any of our listeners were out there listening to it as well, let us know your thoughts on it, because we had a blast.
Yeah. We had
fun.
We had a really good one.
That was really all I've been to. Anything else you've been to? That was it?
No, that was it. Yeah, like I said, it's quite a season for me. Unfortunately, I've been too busy, then getting ill, and I just had a bit too much stuff going on. I wish I could be making it to some of the smaller gigs, but it's tough for me at the moment. Like, I just don't really quite have the energy to be getting out to like a lot of the smaller stuff. You know, wait until January, February, you know, then...
Starts picking up again,
you know. Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
You'll be happy to know there isn't much happening in December.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the time of year for it.
There's a few good ones, though.
I don't say that, because then I'm going to feel bad when I don't go to any of them. I'm working did I tell you, Tom, I'm working 5 days a week this month. 5 days a week!
Wow.
Imagine that.
Absolute madness, Danny. 5 days a week.
Someone
Anyway,
call
go on, tell
Prince
us what's coming up then.
So Friday the 13th, which is the day this episode will air, I believe, right, Danny? Yeah. So we have 2 gigs, so we've got a choice. In the Golden Lion, which seems to be putting on quite a few gigs in December, which is
to be
good.
fair, my mate just went to like a punk gig at their gig there, so it was really, 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 really good.
And that night they're doing like a horror punk.
Oh, nice.
So the bands are Screaming Dead, Das Ghoul, and Murder
Das
Crows.
Das Ghoul are good.
And they're all kind of a horror punk kind of style. So if you like Misfits, then it's right up your alley.
Well, it tends to be like kind of horror punk / kind of scarry horror stuff.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'm not saying definitely it is that, but like a lot of the times that's what that kind of punk infers, is a bit of that kind of like scarry element to it, or a bit of that...
Scary element?
Scar.
Ah, Scar, right.
Scar, Scar.
I thought you said Scar. I was like, what?
Yeah, Scar. Like Scar. You know what Scar is, right?
This is like a poor metal, isn't it?
I'm saying Scar.
Go back to episode 4.
Scar, yeah.
What is he hearing? I don't understand.
Scar, as in...
Scar.
Yeah.
Like the lion in
Yes,
Lion King.
Like Scar. Yes.
Scar.
Yes. You know what the music genre is, Scar.
Yes.
Blowing my mind, Tom. What is... I'm like, yes, that's what I'm saying. No, it's just obviously that like that genre tends to have like a fair bit of a ska element to it, or ska-y, as I would say.
Not Scarby.
Scary.
Anywho, yes, that's the Golden Lion, Friday the 13th. If that's your style, that'd be quite fun. If horror punk isn't your style, then at Moore there is the Anti-Xmas Party, which has got Grave Lines, Morag Tongue, and Lung. They're all kind of doomy, gloom, sludge, stoner
Lung, I
fuzz.
feel like, have we talked about them before? I feel like
It rings a bell to me as well.
Yeah, I feel like we've
Lung
mentioned them.
have
or-
definitely
Yeah.
been.
I think we've
they've
mentioned
played
them
here.
on a lineup before, or something. Or they played here or something, yeah, for
I'm
sure.
not sure about the other two. Lung have definitely played here.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But yeah, that's and more on the same day.
Yeah, okay. Wait, what's the dates again? So they're both
That's
on the
Friday
same
the
day?
13th.
The 13th, they're both on Friday the 13th.
Friday the
Okay,
13th.
Cool.
For any horror fans out there, great day.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to get to that. I mean, both venues, like, I've been to the Golden Lion, I haven't been to Moore Brewery yet, I keep on meaning to go.
Moore's great.
Well, like I said, apparently the new home of grindcore in Bristol, so.
And Doom apparently. So
yeah?
on Saturday the 14th at Moore,
Yeah.
they're doing Christmas of Doom,
Yeah.
which is Hora, which have also played here. They're headlining. You've got Phantom Droid, Dracanian, Tusk, and Motor Rick Road Trip also played here.
Okay.
So that's a very fuzzy Doom, kind of psychedelic Doom, post-metal Doom
Okay.
kind of
Yeah.
lineups. So that's pretty good. I wrote this one instead of putting it into my phone because I kind of ran out of time. Wednesday the 18th, Exchange, we have Martyr's Saint, which is trash metal. So if you like your Metallica, Pantera, that kind of style, so that's what's happening there. There's also Recreants and Post Vita. So Recreants are a modern metal kind of current Polaris kind of style. Post Vita are a new metal grunge. So there's a bit of everything going on there.
Okay.
That's like the Exchange on the 18th.
Yeah.
19th at Tekla, which is actually a pretty big one, is I Hate God and Gotor.
Yes. I see that was been advertised to me a lot on Instagram.
It's an odd combo, that.
Nah, not really. Not really. It kind of makes sense. I mean, I'd love to see I Hate God again. I haven't seen them in fucking forever and a day.
They're like sludgy, right?
Like, kind of, like, they're funny. They're bits of they're kind of Norlands. They're like doomy Pantera.
Yeah.
Like, because they're from the same area.
Ah,
They came
cool,
up
okay.
At the same time. Yeah, so they're kind of that Norlands kind
And
of.
Gotor are more black and death.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. It makes sense. It does. I think it
Really?
yeah. Well, they complement each other enough, for sure.
Also, a bit of an odd name, Gotor.
I mean, it's a black metal band. What are you
Yeah.
expecting? Why you get confused about like the most weird stuff? Like, you're on a metal podcast. Why is this band called Goat Whore? Why isn't there a band called Goat Whore?
But is it a whore that shags goats? Is it a goat that shags horse?
It could have the,
Are they sacrificing both of them?
It could have the Baphomet connotations to it. It could have a fucking undercon, or it could just be what's a really gnarly sounding name? Goat Whore. Yeah.
Like anal cunt, I suppose.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why are they called I Hate God?
I mean, I kind of like that one because it's
got-
I with EYE.
Yeah, anyway. So bizarre.
I'm a strange being, I know.
Why is this band? Just went to see a band called Fit for an Autopsy. Why is this band called Goat Whore?
I think that's a fair argument. But anyway,
Absolutely not in the slightest.
I disagree.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
The audience, once again, let us know that Tom's wrong, but it's fine.
I'm definitely not wrong. I'm never wrong. Friday 20th, again at Moore, we have... Well, I'm flying back to Ireland that day, so I can't actually go. Might be up your street, actually. It is, because one of the bands there you have seen recently, and you want to see again. So it is Grief Ritual are the headliners. They're black and metalcore, which I like the sounds of.
Nice.
Then it says Ashidhara? I don't know how to say that.
Asihara.
That's the one.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you get that from what I just said? But cool. Yeah, so they're like crossover trash.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Then the one I think you'd like is Peruvian Necktie,
Oh, Peruvian Necktie, great. Yeah.
which is obviously in the
This is a
hardcore
really
scene.
solid lineup. Shit. When's this?
Maelstrom, Moore,
More and what? When?
Friday the 20th.
Friday the 20th. Fuck. Okay.
You'll be working because you're a posh
I mean, I
type
will
now.
be, and then I'll be working the Saturday and the Sunday as well. But that's a really
That's
good.
a 7-day week.
No, because the extra day I'm working is Sundays.
Ah,
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So just to be weird and working the weekends.
Well, you know, it's easier for people. People are freer on Sundays than they are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
True. So yeah, Maelstrom are also playing that, which is also a hardcore band.
Nice,
And then
yeah.
Kanehurst, which is emo
Oh,
violence.
Kanehurst are good. Yeah, they're really good. Shit, that's a really good lineup.
So yeah, Kanehurst,
Look
Maelstrom,
at that
Peruvian
gig,
Necktie.
Danny. That's a really solid gig. It's a
And it's at
really
Moore,
solid
so you
gig.
get to experience it.
Yeah, and I get to.
Where
it'll
is
be
it?
good. More.
Where's that? Never heard
The
of
more
that.
beer one. We keep on talking about it. You know, it's like where is it? It's like is it Eastern Way?
It's not far from Timplemeads, I want to say.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. It's like behind. So you know, funny enough, it's where Where Fiendish is, where the sex party.
Oh right,
what's it called?
Dare 2.
Dare 2.
Yeah.
So it's like around that area, more breweries like there. That's where they've got their tap house and everything.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good brewery.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah,
they do really good beer. They put on seemingly very good gigs.
And I've met one of the, like I said, I actually kind of know one of the promoters who keeps on putting, especially a lot of the grind stuff. So I did say I need to try and catch up with him because we might try and get him on the podcast next.
That'd be cool, yeah.
He's really sad. Like,
yeah.
I know him randomly from going to like a gig at the Jam Jar and then somehow getting absolutely wasted and then going back.
Somehow getting wasted, and then going back to his house with him and his partner and buying. This is going interesting places.
Buying ecstasy at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning and then anyway, sound guy. So I'll try and get one.
The end of that story is you woke up in the bin in Leeds.
No. The end of that story is I ended up going. I took because we got the ecstasy so late. It got a bit too late, and then we took it, and then of course. I have to wait like 45 minutes and then I was like, fuck it, I'm too tired, I'm too drunk, I'm going to go home. Then went home and ended up lying in bed, coming up on ecstasy, going at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's how that went, Always time your ecstasy at the right time, guys. Just,
Yeah. So yeah, I think you guys should check that out. I think it's only 8 or 10 quid for a ticket. So
awesome. I think that one. I'll be going down if you're going. Yeah, for sure.
Friday 28 more. Yeah. Check it out.
I mean, I'll be being a good girl. I won't be drinking or anything because I've got work the next day. But
I'll drink for both of us. Don't worry.
Cool. No worries.
And for our listeners, it's basically if you kind of like Converge and Gatekeeper, that's the kind of day that you're
cool. Converge, Gatekeeper, love both of those. So let's do it.
If you like those, then you'll have a good day.
Yeah,
basically.
Cool. Awesome.
21st here in the Griffin. There's not many in the Griffin in December.
Yeah, it's because he knows his audience.
He does.
Yeah.
But there's a band called Fua, which is Gaelic for hatred, and it's the side project of the fellow who's in Sayre, which is a band I mentioned a few episodes ago, the Gaelic black metal band.
Oh, yeah.
So it's his side project. They're playing here. They're old school black metal, basically, like proper raw sounding.
Nice.
Then there is 2 other, just old school black metal bands with them. Sayrecott, I want to say they're called, and Offness. Never heard of either of them.
No.
But if you're into
cool.
old school
black metal, then basically, kind of. So it's always right down John Street because he likes his kind of like Gaelic-y, folky, like kind of black
mix
metal
that
stuff.
with black metal, and you're sorted.
You're away to the races.
And I think that's all locally.
Yeah.
Coming up, there's been quite a few big announcements, though. If you want to hear some?
Yeah, go for it.
So Saxon.
Yeah.
They're playing Wheels of Steel in its entirety.
Nice.
On 13th November next year in Beacon, which kind of suits me, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Saxon fan, but I respect what they've done for the metal scene.
Yeah, exactly the same. Got loads of friends who are massive Saxon fans. Once again, not a band that I dislike in the slightest, just not a band that I'm like ever been that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll happily listen to Saxon.
If they came on, I'd listen to them, but I wouldn't put them on.
I'm not, I'm definitely not part of the Viking horde. I think they know themselves as. Yeah. I did have a couple of friends who used to, especially when I lived in Devon, who used to do like reenactment stuff, and a bunch of them got hired. I think it was for was it Download or Vacan? I can't remember. One of the big festival appearances they had, where I think they headlined or was second on to headlining, and they actually had like a fake battle on stage.
That's cool.
So yeah, they got hired to like be Vikings and like attack, kill each other on stage. That was a lot of fun.
I do like the Saxons Viking song by Monomart, where they actually have Biff. What's his name? Biff Clyro? Biff something?
Oh, the Biffy Clyro guy.
No, his name is Biff something.
No idea.
Anyway, he's the lead singer Saxon.
Yeah.
But he features in the track, and he does the Saxon side of the song. It's quite cool. It's a good song. Cool. I mentioned Leaf from Within earlier.
Yeah.
If anyone's a fan, I don't know if you are. They're playing on the 10th, 11th and 12th of October, but unfortunately it's London, Manchester and Glasgow.
Fair enough.
They're
I keep
Scottish,
getting
I think.
confused. Yeah, so it's Bleed From Within, Bleeding Through, who are the ones I saw at Damnation.
Very good.
And then 3 Inches of... I don't know why, there's all these bleeding blood bands I keep on getting like confused in my head.
They're all very different too.
Yeah, I know, but that's the annoying thing. It's like Bleed From Within, Bleeding Through... 3 Inches of Blood, blah blah blah. It's like I don't know why. And I get really confused.
And After the Burial of Sporting Limb,
nice,
which is quite a good lineup.
Yeah, sounds solid. Yeah.
A big one. So we got Arch Enemy, Amorphous, Levicha, and Gatekeeper.
Nice. That's a really solid. Wow, Gatekeeper opening that. That's
that's badass.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it's not the Bristol one. It's Wolverhampton, Manchester, and London again. That's October, November next year.
Yeah. White Wolves. weird sometimes when they pick these. I mean, to be fair, Wolves needs a good time every now and again. It is
It's hard venue though.
I mean,
if you do London and Manchester, then
yeah,
Wolverhampton,
I mean, maybe
right?
they just looked around where the fan base is. It's weird, like sometimes the statistics.
Yeah, or they haven't played there in a while or something. Or
they think it covers their bases.
Sayre, the band that I mentioned, so Fua, the side project playing here, but Sayre, the Gaelic Scottish one, are playing the Exchange on 13th of February.
Oh, that is here in Bristol then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So look forward to that one. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Clutch, you find a Clutch?
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of Clutch.
So they're doing their 30 years of the self-titled album.
They've been going 30 years as well. Jesus Christ.
Which I'm guessing is their first one, right?
Yeah.
It's their first album.
No, Clutch are great.
So that's 15th of December next year at the Beacon.
Okay. Wow.
I think they'll suit the Beacon.
Yeah, the Beacon's really starting to try and pull in. I saw a news thing about how the Beacon had like record attendance or something.
I saw the headline. I didn't see who it was for.
Yeah, I didn't see it. No, just in general. I thought.
Oh, just
that's how the
right.
headline wrote it. Was like it's just had record attendance for all the shows it's been doing.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I mean, it's not. I mean, there's a
It's
bunch
been
of
closed
stuff I
for
don't
years.
even know. I don't even know what's going on there. And sometimes I come up to the Griffin, which is obviously just up the road from there, and I'm like
There's always
walking
queue at
past
the
like
door.
a huge queue of kids, and I'm like, what the fuck's even on tonight?
And it's not even advertised outside what it is. It's just...
It's just I don't even know what's on, and there's like a massive queue of like kids, and I always presume it's like some. Like it's some indie band or I don't fucking know, but whatever. And I'm just like, fucking hell, like this.
They're missing a trick there. Actually, the only good thing though who does is have the thing outside that kind of says what's on.
Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe
I think you probably have to be on their website and get their.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure,
stuff,
but
So Clutch, if that's your thing, they're playing next year.
Yeah.
A band that don't know how to pronounce, but it's Kevlartek. They're Norwegian. Kveler.
How the mighty have fallen.
They are actually Norwegian, though.
It's all so easy to pronounce all these names. Let me read these names.
It was Hellfect that you got wrong, though.
Whatever. Complicated.
Right, you go with this one then. Kvel.
Don't spell stuff to me. I'm dyslexic. I don't fucking know how that works.
Danny, do you want to try this one?
Go on then.
Kvelertak.
Kveler thing.
In Norwegian now, please.
No. That's not happening.
Anyway, they're a Norwegian prog rock with support from Ørn. Ørn played Bloodstock 2 or 3 years ago, so
Nice.
that's in SWX in February. I'm nearly done, don't worry, you won't have to listen to me for much longer. Barry Tomorrow, anyone a fan? They released a new song recently. It's gone and they're taking a bit of a different route. It's What If I Burn it's called. Since they got rid of the
I'm
guitarist.
not a massive Barry Tomorrow fan, so I don't really.
I used to be when they were a lot rawer, a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
And now they've changed. The lead guitar player, who was the soft singer, left.
Yeah.
And they've gone a very different route. They're kind of toning things down drastically.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're doing what will be a fun gig because they're now, they play SWX easily level.
Yeah.
But they're playing Rough Trade because they released a new album.
That's the little Rough Trade. I've been in there a couple of times for gigs. Yeah.
That's right in the centre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Across from the banks and stuff.
Well, it's actually really close to SWX.
It's opposite the lanes.
It's basically opposite the lanes.
Ah, right,
So it's
okay,
right next to us where SWX is.
That's like a record store, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a record store. Yeah.
So that's quite a cool little intimate gig.
Yeah, they've got a little gig room in there. Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you go in, the Rough Trade is like a longer building. You've got the record shop there with like an entrance kind of there,
Yeah.
and then there's that bar coffee shop bit there.
Yep.
There's a door just to the right hand side. That's a whole gig, like a little. It's not massive, but there's a gig venue in there with the stage.
Ah, I see.
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
I've been in there. I've seen a few gigs in there. It's cool.
I imagine it's a very small capacity, right?
Yeah, really small. Really,
Which is quite cool.
Probably a bit smaller. Maybe about the same as the main exchange room.
Okay.
Maybe a bit smaller. But it's about that. It's bigger than the Griffin for sure, but
Bigger than I thought it was going to be, actually.
Yeah. It can definitely fit. I'd say, I want to say like 100 people, maybe.
Okay.
Like more than that, yeah.
So if you're a Barry Tomorrow fan, that's going to probably sell out quite quick.
Yeah, it'll go quickly. I mean, they've had like Rough Trade. Obviously, they're a chain, so like they get like these bigger. They've had. They get.
They're a chain, aren't they?
Yeah, there's one in London. There's more.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought it was a
think
unique
there's definitely one in
Bristol thing.
London. I think there's more than that.
Right.
But yeah, they get like bigger like signings and stuff. They pull quite big names.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, for signings, and then sometimes they do like acoustic sets, and then you get bands like just doing straight up sets as well.
I feel like Dave missed a trick in this one.
Yeah.
If Barry Tomorrow were playing Black City.
Where in Black City are they going to play?
mean-
It's tiny. I love it. But Dave does want to upsize, I know, but like, you know, he's going to need a little bit more room than that to get a full band in there. Like,
He's
just a
had
little
bands
bit
before,
more.
though.
I know, but like, you know, yeah.
I think, I mean, good. You know, metal record store in Bristol. And,
Yeah. Well, you know, Dave's always said about wanting to upsize, so, you know, hopefully he gets somewhere big enough that he can have a gig space in there.
He just needs to get the building next door, because if he moves
Yeah,
his way
that'd
from the
be
metal
perfect.
water...
Yeah, then just knock the wall through
Exactly.
and then just take it over. Or get upstairs, you know.
Does he not have upstairs?
I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know the layout. I don't know, Dave. You tell me, Dave.
You do know Dave.
Yeah. Dude. Oh, no. It's just, you know, Dave, tell me if you listen to this and then let me know.
I hope you're still listening, because, you know, that'd be nice if you were.
I don't know. Maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out next
Dave,
time.
we want free CDs.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's the end of my big announcements. You aware of any?
I mean, obviously we had the announcements for Damnation.
Oh,
Announced
yes,
their
I sent that
first
through to you.
load of bands. It's not even their headliners yet. You know, they've said it's not the headliners yet, but it's the first bunch of bands.
Any of those took your fancy?
Pig Destroyer, obviously they're there again, which will be nice. I'll be honest, like, I didn't recognise...
are there.
I recognised some band names, but it wasn't anything I was blown away by. But here's the thing, like I said before with Damnation, is I don't really care about that with Damnation. I don't really care, right? Because what would be more interesting is when they announce... yeah, I mean, like The Haunted, I know. Stomping Ground, I know. Frail Body. Meryl Streak are fun. They're funny. But yeah, like, you know,
Diarrhea
the Worm
there.
Rot are there as well. That was the other big one, because obviously Worm Rot are a big grind band as well. Really like Worm Rot. That'll be a lot of fun that they're there. It's good. They make sense to me there. But yeah, like, once again with this, like, I'll just happily go for the bands I don't... Like, this is literally just the first handful of bands they're announcing.
Yeah.
And it's not even the headliners yet, and there's already like 2 or 3 bands in there that I'd happily watch, especially Pig Destroyer and Worm Rot. I'd happily watch them.
Yeah.
You know, really, really good to see them play. The only thing, hopefully, that I'm thinking is that maybe that hints to the fact that maybe those 2 bands have got a tour planned in the UK at that point, because Damnation does take on tour packages.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the hope.
Nice.
But yeah, apart from that, what else got announced recently? I don't think anything else really got announced, has it, recently? I can't think of anything
Not that I can think of.
big that's got announced. Not off the top of my head, anyway. No, I think we covered a lot of it last time. I think it really is kind of just winding down a little bit, and then
A little bit.
you've got the early year stuff's already been fairly heavily announced, and then once again when it hits like February, March next year, then we'll start getting all the summer stuff getting announced kind of beginning of next year. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the end of the bigger sets of gigs that's coming up. So, bring us nicely onto our metal news, general news. Get our...
General news.
Did you see Bloodstock announced the Metal for the Masses dates?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
So for all you budding bands out there, it is the 17th of February.
The applications are already open, aren't they? So,
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
The 24th of February.
Yeah.
Where else? I think the next ones are in April. They are 7th of April,
Yeah.
14th of April, and then I think we're on the semi-final, which is the 11th of May,
Yeah.
and the final is the 8th of June.
Yeah, and that's for the Bristol one.
Yeah, that is the Bristol one.
Yeah. So
I haven't looked at where the other ones are.
I mean, they're all different though. I mean, because they're all run by different people, so
Yeah.
it's all a bit of a different thing. So I don't know, like for the different, obviously check your area. If you're in the UK, check your area. You basically need to find out who's running your metal to the which promoter is your.
I think it's the Exchange are hosting.
Most of them, I think. Yeah. They did last time as well. I think the Exchange has been pretty much the main venue.
That's a good little setup for them, really.
Good. I mean, it's solid. They get a certain amount of gigs in that they know people are going to show up to.
Yeah.
You know, but also like we said before, we're going to be covering Metal to the Masses next year. So
maybe we need to start talking to people at Exchange and kind of go, can we actually get in there?
Well, no. I mean, we'll always be able to get. I mean, look, we're a little bit too small of a podcast maybe to try and blag our way into getting in for free.
No, I don't mean for free. I meant as in like that. We can.
I mean,
they can set us up the bands.
As much as I love Metal to the Masses, I don't think they're ever going to be. Maybe the final might get sold out, but I don't think any of the main ones, especially the early ones, aren't going to get sold out.
I'm kind of excited to follow this the whole way through.
I'm excited to follow the story, and like I said, we're going to be talking to the bands, maybe try and get some of the bands in.
That's what I meant. Like
stuff.
that, if the Exchange can set us up with some of the bands,
well, I mean,
then...
I think we just talk to them ourselves.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
we'll
just
when
you come off the stage, like you were awesome. We think you're going to win.
Yeah. But yeah, we will be covering the Metal to the Masses from start to finish. So from the preliminary gigs all the way through to the
festival
final.
and the recordings the day after.
And then the festival as well, which we still need to sort Danii out.
We do.
If anyone knows already if they've got a Bloodstock ticket going for a 3-dayer, please do let us know because we need one.
Also on that note, day tickets are also now on sale.
Yeah, they're on sale. Yeah.
Since yesterday.
Yeah.
We're recording on 3rd to the 2nd, so by the time this comes out, they'll
I
probably be gone.
I saw them announce that as well. Yeah. They still got some bands to announce as well, haven't they?
They do,
yeah. They haven't even announced the whole lineup yet. So.
Crazy, it's already sold out as well.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, there's last day tickets now, isn't there? Because of what they did with the camping ones. So.
Which I really like. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
because basically, so many people said to them that they wanted to go to all 3 days.
Yeah.
They were going to buy 3 individual day tickets.
Yeah, so they're just like, fuck it, let's turn these into
just
camping.
Oh,
cool. Yeah.
So that was 2 of the things. One I came across which I thought was kind of funny, and I don't really know why there was so much media about it. Was Knocked Loose and Jimmy Kimmel.
This is what I was going to talk to you about if you hadn't already got it on there.
It's
so funny. So for those of you who don't know, Jimmy Kimmel, who's one of the big late night hosts in America, every year he does like the Jimmy Kimmel fest. Like it's like a mini little music festival where basically he gets famous acts on. They all play one song, basically, and then whatever, he had Knocked Loose on
with
this
Poppy,
year.
right?
With Poppy, the Suffocate, which is the song that they do with Poppy, basically what it boiled down, it actually boiled down to one complaint tweet really that went viral. The reason it went viral is because it's like some parent basically going like, our son, we settled in to watch a nice evening of music with Jimmy Kimmel, and then this terrible satanic band Knocked Loose came on and our son was crying and it made them it was really satanic panic blah blah blah. I mean,
why did that go viral?
I think it was the basis of Knocked Loose. He was dressed as a priest with an upside down cross on his shirt.
Oh my god, that's it. I know.
Yeah. But it was a really good, so basically that's all it is, and it's been blown up into a bigger thing than it was basically.
So every metalhead's gone, this is great for metal. What is wrong with you stupid assholes?
To be fair, it is, because Knocked Loose are by far easily the heaviest band that have ever been on the Jimmy Kimmel thing ever. They're pretty much the only metal band that have ever been on the Jimmy Kimmel thing ever. So it's awesome for them. Knocked Loose have always had this way. They've always said it's we almost become part of the band's thing of trying to squeeze themselves into spaces where normally music like that is never heard.
Yep.
Once again, another reason they got very infamous was because they got a Coachella slot. Which went viral.
Yeah.
With Billie Eilish fucking watching them from the sides and stuff, and no barriers. I heard a really interesting story about the Coachella thing. Was basically they showed up and they thought there was going to be barriers like normal and all this stuff, and then what happened is loads of the security guys are all wearing Madball they're all just old school fucking hardcore guys from LA. So they were all oh yeah, no, we'll get rid of the barriers, we'll just do this a hardcore show. So that's why that set was so insane, because they were all just oh yeah, we'll just do this an old school hardcore show.
Nice.
So they just got really lucky there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's always been Knocked Loose. The actual set, have you watched it?
No.
It's really good. They come out, they absolutely smash that song. Poppy comes skipping out in a little dress. She does some insane, the vocals on the recorded version are insane anyway. But she does some crazy vocals. His vocals are fucking bonkers as well. He does some death growls in there, which I actually know he had in him. And then what's fair is fair shout to the Jimmy Kimmel audience. I don't know where the fuck he's picked them up from. Spin kicking away, mosh pits kicking off, kids jumping on top of each other, you know what I mean? It's they're just going for it. They don't give a shit. I think they just watch whatever fucking pop act he's had on before them, and then Knocked Loose come on, and the fucking pyrotechnics go off. And these kids are fucking kicking the shit out of each other. So fair shout to Gen Z. They are a much more eclectic crowd. I think they'll take the hip hop acts, the pop acts, and the hardcore metalcore acts as they come. You know what I mean? So,
and then you got some old, probably not even that old American, sitting there just going, "Oh, my son cried."
I think there might have been a couple more tweet complaints, but it definitely got blown up. And then it went a bit viral. It was a lot. There wasn't that many complaints.
The funny thing about it is, by them complaining and blowing up, it made an even bigger deal.
And now, the lead singer of Knocked Loose has responded, going, "I hope it scared you." Basically, there's if anything, it's just added to their infamy that they're the Jimmy Kimmel band that got complained about. Blah.
Oh no, a hardcore band getting complained about.
Well, it's I still remember when Slipknot, which is how old I am. What was that? What's that ginger presenter called with the glasses? He was a radio presenter and he was a TV presenter. He used to do a Saturday morning show. Chris Evans?
Might be Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, remember him? Really famous. Like BBC, it was like on Radio 1 and blah blah blah. But he had like, I swear his name's Chris Evans. He used to have a Saturday morning show, didn't he? It was like a combination of, he used to have a band on. And I still remember the day the Slipknot, early Slipknot, they played Wait and Bleed. Like this Saturday morning, and they lost the cameraman in the mosh pit. They like lost the camera. It was great. I was sitting there as a kid, just going, "What the fuck is this?" Like, you know, like what's going on? You know, this is so cool. Yeah, was that my first introduction? No, I think my cousin told me about them before they played that. But anyway, yeah, like stuff like that's great when metal leaks into like
popular culture,
normie television. Basically, it's always a bit of fun.
Well, we've already had that this year with the Olympics, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about. I think that's going to be coming up later as well. Yeah.
Might be, yeah.
Along with, to be fair, with me, Knock Loose will be coming up later too. So yeah, but yeah, no.
You mentioned about the televised thing. Just give me a flashback to my past there. So when I was back in uni, there wasn't much metal there. Like you know, very often, very rarely something would happen. Anyway, they were doing a battle of bands, kind of like Metal is the Masses thing. It was a big national competition thing. And on the night I finished my exams, there was a gig on in one of the venues that was a few bands come together kind of thing. So obviously I was celebrating, finished my exams, celebrating a metal gig being there. Absolutely wrecked. It was televised. I got flung in over a table because obviously, you know, that's what happens. And it got put on TV. So there's
you getting decked over a table?
Yeah. There's people and this fucking 6'1" guy goes straight out over a table. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Alan, you'll remember that.
This is what happens when metal's allowed on television.
Right? We just go nuts. We just can't contain ourselves.
Yeah.
We're perfectly normal gentlemen when you sit beside us and sit at the gig. Only other bit of interesting news I think there is out there, mainly unless you want to fill me in on something else. Get Trashed, which is a film about the story of trash.
I heard about this. Yeah.
It was released originally in 2006, and they've done. It's the second version of it, but they got more interviews and done it in higher definition and stuff.
The big documentary about metal I remember was Metal: A Headbanger's Journey. Do you remember that from back in the day? The Canadian guy did a whole documentary film.
I do actually.
And then he made a TV series of it as well, where he kind of.
And part of it was where he was actually travelling to the airports trying to find the bands and stuff, wasn't he?
Well, I think that might be the TV series. In the film, it's more like him kind of almost trying to explain metal. He's like. What I think a lot of people liked about it was like it almost kind of was trying to explain metal to like normies, like trying to explain what different branches of metal were. And it almost had like a family tree of like Black Sabbath, and then it goes like thrash metal, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like this, and then in the TV show he went more into the specific genres of metal to expand.
I'm gonna rewatch that.
More.
That's
Metal. I think I own it on DVD. You know.
Do you have a DVD player?
No. My gaming computer doesn't even take discs anymore. Like, you know what I mean? That's the age we're in now.
Yeah.
It'll
come back, don't worry. It'll come back.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it would be cool. It'd be fun. I like watching a bit of documentary stuff about
me too.
History stuff as well. Like I really like that. I think I talked about it before on the pod, but I like that Trainwreck one, the Woodstock one, which obviously has a lot of new metal stuff on there with Korn and Limp Bizkit and Rage Against the Machine and stuff.
And Chili's.
Well,
they were. I'm not a fan of them. They also incited riots.
I know. No one likes to say that bit that they played that Fire song. Actually, when everyone had the candles, and then you wonder why they get no blame.
No, it's all the Biscuits' fault.
Anthony Kiedis gets no blame for. I'm not allowed to say because I might actually get in trouble. But just look up Anthony Kiedis. Girl's age and be surprised about one of your favourite bands. Anyway, onto metal.
That kind of brings me to the end of our news section.
Yeah. So nice.
So shall we do something a bit different?
We are. So we're not going to be doing an album review.
Nope.
We are going to be doing some kind of top threes, top moments, top things. Should we go through the kind of categories of what we're going to be doing?
So we're kind of thinking top 3 songs, top 3 albums, top 3 gigs in Bristol.
Yeah.
I'd like to add to that one, best gigs in general throughout the year.
Yeah, best new find, subgenre you've enjoyed the most, and then biggest metal moment of the year.
Yeah, because as we said, this is episode 10, feels a little bit special. We've been going for 6 months now.
Well, also it's the end of the year. Look, hey,
it is the end of the year.
You all enjoy lists, we all know you do. all your favourite YouTubers, all your favourite podcast people, all anything that's to do with like gigs. This is the awardy, listy time of the year where you want to hear what our best things.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's a great idea.
That's what we're here for.
The one I struggled the most with was the songs.
Really? Okay.
Because when I was thinking about it, I was like, what songs were released this year?
That's what I mean. I had a bit of that, but then I was pretty honest with myself.
Go on, then you start.
So
what's your top 3 songs of
top 3 songs? So obviously these aren't in any particular order. These are just the top 3 songs. It's not like ranked bronze to gold or anything like that. Yep. So I've got "Don't Reach for Me" by Knocked Loose, "A Visceral Wretch" by Whitechapel, and
I'm glad you like that one.
"For the Love of Schadenfreude" by Intercourse.
Never heard of that last one.
Well, so once again, this is obviously some stuff. It's going to be like, obviously, I'm sticking very much to the heavy punk side of stuff. Yeah. I have a very eclectic taste in music. If I just opened it up, then I'd be talking, about.
No, what you're talking about.
I'd be talking about like Doja Cat or something like that.
Charlie
XCX. I was just going to say Charlie XCX.
Von Dutch is going to be up there for me. I've listened to that song a lot. So, funny enough, because we're just talking about Knocked Loose, I'll start with that. Like, "Don't Reach for Me." I'm also
that off the new album.
It is. It's just so good. I mean, it's just so good. The vocals are insane. This crushing way they've taken their sound, and that song in particular, I think as well, is like really visceral. It's a lot of it is the kind of talk. It's quite interesting because obviously the album itself, and I'll be honest, bit of a giveaway. I'm going to be talking about the album on the album bit in a bit as well. But like, there's this song.
I'm not surprised it's highly rated.
It's very, very good. This song in particular, like, a lot of the vocals about like, a lot of it is kind of that idea of like people who kind of use religion to like do a lot of like really bad shit, or like push a lot of really fucking horrible ideas about other people. Yep. And that idea of like, don't reach for me, like, I'm not going to be part of your system, of this kind of thing, that you want, like,
solid message.
And just some of the horrific scream, like, "I will cut out your tongue," it's just absolutely brutal from start to finish. Love that.
Have they released it as a single, or is that
It was the last. I want to say it was the last single they did. It was, or was it Blinding Faith? I can't remember. It was either the second to last or the last, because it was Suffocate, I think, was the first one, which was the poppy one. Then it was, I think it was either Blinding Faith or Don't Reach for Me. I can't remember which way around those two were.
Very good.
A Visceral Wretch. I love it. It's great. Whitechapel are back. I'm really hyped. I've loved Whitechapel for many years. This new way, because Whitechapel are a really interesting band. Obviously, started up as a straight up deathcore band.
Yeah.
Then started experimenting more and more with their sound. Kind of lost quite a lot of fans because they actually went quite experimental. Changed their sound a lot. Went a bit more melodic. Changed a lot. And then they come out with this, and it's like the perfect mix of all of it has come together.
The vocals he has in that song are incredible.
But he does the full range because he can do these cleaner vocals, and he's been obviously doing that with some of their more experimental stuff. But then this goes back to those older, like, just horrible guttural vocals. The musicianship in it's great. I just really felt like this song took me on a bit of a journey with Whitechapel of like just being able to blend all of it together.
Have you seen his recording of it in the boot where he does it?
No.
That dude, he's only a small little lad, but he puts everything into it.
No, I've always loved it. Phil Bozeman.
Yeah.
I love him. I think he's great. I've always really rated him as a vocalist. I've always really rated Whitechapel in general.
I agree.
Really like them.
That song 100% is fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Is that on your list as well?
Funny enough, it is.
There we go. Well, let's just talk about it together then. If we're sharing a song, we might as well both talk about it. Yeah, what did you think then?
I mean, his vocals in it just blew me away. When I first heard it, I messaged you. I was like, "Oh my god, you have to listen to this song."
And I did, and I was really blown away by it. Yeah.
I would recommend everyone listen to it. He does everything from, he experiments with a little bit of black, he goes a little bit shrieky, and then the most disgusting, like brutal death you can get.
Just horrible animal sound.
And it works so well.
And then the musicianship in it, like I said, it's like it does the same thing. It goes from this kind of experimental, almost kind of like metalcore-y stuff, just back into this really gnarly but really well done, like deathcore kind of breakdown, beat down stuff. And I'm really excited. It's got me hype. I think it's a great song.
Yes and no. I want to hear the new album because it's going to be fucking fantastic.
That's what I mean,
But Phil has just announced that he's stopping for a while. He's got mental health issues. He just can't deal with it.
He's always been very honest about that kind of stuff. I mean, he has quit all had breaks from Whitechapel before.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they've already done the recordings.
Maybe.
Don't know.
Or they might wait till he's feeling fine again.
Okay, well, all the best, Phil. You know, you've always been great and you've always stuck through it and take all the time you need and, you know, yeah. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway,
I am looking forward to it when it eventually comes out.
song is a great song on its own.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter about the future. This is a great fucking Whitechapel song. It's a really great blend of like kind of experimenting in mixing, and it shows a band that can really put all of this together.
I think this is the sound that we're aiming for.
Yeah. That's what I mean. But that's what I mean about. That's why I like it so much in a way. It's the culmination of all of the Whitechapel sounds together into one song,
and
which
it works
I like.
just beautifully.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then For the Love of Schadenfreude by Intercourse. You've never heard me talk about Intercourse on here. Intercourse are like a really they're kind of infamously big kind of crust punk, hardcore kind of like mad band. Basically, they're insane. Their songs are always completely bonkers. Their vocalist does this weird mix of kind of almost like spoken word, but like spoken word like a man having a panic attack, screaming at pigeons in a park. And like it's just great. I really like them. I like their first EP as well. This is off the new EP, which is called something insane like Egyptian politics or something like that. It's really really
full
political.
album? It's just EPs.
It's like EPs at the moment, but like no, the first one was a full album. Sorry, I take, but that's not the one we're talking about. Right, the new EP. Really like political, but also like very savvy. Like they know a lot about internet humor. They know a lot about like, do you know what I mean? Like the lyrics. So it's really, really current and like For the Love of Schadenfreude, it's just this really. I like it because they're quite spiteful. One, they sound amazing. I like this. It's like it sounds messy and stupid, but then you listen to it like, oh no, these musicians are actually very good at what they do to make this kind of madcap. And also they play around. They go melodic in other songs. Like they're very talented. They can switch up sounds very easily. Like their stuff doesn't always sound the same. They can actually get kind of proggy and experimental at points. Very interesting band, Intercourse. Obviously kind of jokey, but kind of not jokey at the same time. They're very good at being tongue-in-cheek, but then being very kind of... What I like is they're quite spiteful, like, and I kind of enjoy that. And For the Love of Schadenfreude is this very kind of quite spiteful song. Okay. So it's for me, it's very good. It's a lot about like the scenes and like people that you grew up with who you kind of look back on and you're like, oh yeah, no, you were all cunts and like that's not okay and like blah blah blah. Like so you haven't really heard me talk about them on the podcast before. We should definitely check them out. It's a song that's really stuck with me and I've listened to quite a bit.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you then? What are the two that?
The other one, so obviously the Physical Wretch as well. It's funny that we both did the thing. I think we're going to have similar things throughout, but anyway. The other one, which is a recent one, is the new Machine Head one. These Scars Want to Find Us.
Yeah.
It's Machine Head just absolutely back on form. It is fucking ace.
Yeah.
It is so good. And the fact they've done guest vocals with Lacuna Kyle on Earth, In Flames, it is just a masterpiece. I'm so glad. Machine Head, one of those bands to me, love them to bits. They were epic, then they had really shit albums where they went proper punky in between, and then they came back and they were fucking amazing for several years. Then they did a weird album and now they're back again.
I mean, they're very similar to Lamb of God for me. Like, it's just like they're just one of those bands that like I always feel like should have been bigger and gotten more flowers. And I know they're massive, like don't get me wrong, Machine Head are massive.
Headline Bloodstock, woo!
Yeah, I know, I can't wait. But for some reason like never seem to quite get into that real like high stratosphere of I don't know why. Also shout, what's his name again, the lead singer guy?
Rob Flynn.
Yeah, good on him as well, you know, when it comes to morals and stuff as well. Like, he was one of the main guys who's been fucking calling out Phil Anselmo from Pantera. His morals are pretty...
He's called out Ronnie...
Ronnie Radke. Like, you know, he's there. He's like, I like that as well. We need a bit more of that in metal at the moment. Like especially some of the old guard guys, like actually kind of standing there and going like, no, this isn't okay. Like, you're not allowed to be a cunt. Like, it's not good.
I saw on a slightly sidetracking this. I saw a story that made me. I should have brought it up earlier. A story that made me just smile.
Yeah.
So you know the way there's that prolific tour that's going on that we know one should follow the Fallen in Reverse, Slaughter Veil, the Tech Nine, the whole lot of them.
Yeah.
All doing the tour together. Ronnie can't get into the UK because he's been in prison for more than 12 months, so they denied his visa.
No, I think they've got around that now.
Not yet. He said it's cancelled at least next year.
Oh, wow, okay. Because I know people who have bought tickets.
Yeah,
sadly,
they're not going.
Yeah.
So that's a side note, but yeah.
So.
Anyway, Machine Head, great.
Machine
Rob
Head.
Lane's awesome.
That song is really good. Yeah.
The other one I had, and I didn't know whether to put it in here or not because it was a band I found this year.
Yeah.
And I've actually mentioned them already twice in the podcast. The song's called Origins by Saor, so it's SAOR.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But the album isn't from this year. It's from 22 or 23.
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
But I only found them this year, so
yeah.
That's
fair. That's fair.
I really like when bands take the idea of something folky or something different and mix it with metal.
Yeah.
And this is
So
Gaelic black
what's the
metal.
song then?
Origins.
Yeah. Okay.
It's you got a bagpipe solo in it.
Nice, it's like a bagpipe solo.
It works really well. You got rage and black metal and then bagpipes over the top of it. It's good.
Yeah.
So I think those are my 3 for the year.
Yeah.
Albums. Top 3 albums. What
Top
do
3
you think?
albums. Well, straight back to Knock Loose again for me. So
Same album.
You Won't Go Before You're Supposed To by Knock Loose, released this year. It's just epic. I everyone knows I love Knock Loose, but I've got to be honest. Like this album's like just gotten out there. It's one of the best metalcore albums you can ask for. It pushes metalcore in a direction and pushes it to something that I don't think anyone thought. I think a lot of people thought metalcore was done. In the sense of like, where does it go? Can't go any further than that. Blah blah blah.
If you start putting breakdowns in, you're getting deathcore. Where are you?
Whatever. But like Knock Loose, just the way that their sound's been evolving. We've seen it where it was going to go. We're all hyped with like the kind of things like Deep in the Willow, like these tracks, which by the way aren't on the album. They just literally made like a 2-track album EP that was like,
here's extra music.
And then neither of those. That was like a separate thing. Neither of these. I mean, the album from start to finish is just absolutely. I say unrelenting, but not in the way that sometimes we talk about it, where it's like, when we talked about like some of the things that we've reviewed on here, where it just all sounds the same. Like every track has its own character, every track sounds different. You've got tracks like Suffocate, which has Poppy coming on doing these insane vocals. You've got tracks like Slaughterhouse 2, which is it's a version of a song that I always forget his name, the lead singer of Knock Loose. Really sorry, but like. He did with Motionless in White called Slaughterhouse, where he was the guest vocalist on that song. So then they've done a version called Slaughterhouse 2, which is like kind of the same but different. But it's a different song, but like obviously has something with Matey Bob from Motionless in White doing the guest vocals on this.
That's cool. Didn't realise they
it's a really
cool
band thing to do. We should come back more. I hope it does from this. Like I remember there used to be a lot of that in the grindcore scene back in the day. Like you do like
members would
you just take like a song that somebody had done and then go like this is the other version. Like call it something 2 or something.
Yeah, I like that.
It was a lot of fun. Everything's covered. The moss grows overall, just insane. But then like this creepy, weird horror way, like they've got it. It's like they're so heavy, but yet like quite like they're like slow in parts. The way the drumming works, the way everything's put together. Like there's these like you listen to the drummer. He's doing like kind of boom bap things at some point, and like it all just works. And it's like you're just looking at these guys that are just all really good. Like they're playing around, they've found this way of doing this sound, this creepy, groaning, but it's just unrelenting. Like there's a lot of this vocal stuff that gets brought up, a lot of the vocals in the album, it's like the unrelenting wave. And funny enough, there's this vocal kind of thing all the way through it, but that's what their sound's like now.
Yeah.
Their sound is like an unrelenting wave that just doesn't stop. Like crushing you, basically.
That's cool.
And it's great from start to finish. Love that album. Moving on from there, we've got the one that we reviewed, Blood Incantations.
Yeah, it's on mine as well.
Love it so much. We'll both talk about that in a sec. So first, I'll talk about my third one. Once again, in no particular order. Excessive Guilt by Throne. They finally released their first album. Obviously, Throne I have brought up on here a few times. I thought they were American. They're not. Apparently, they're like Swedish or
Scandinavian.
Yes, they are. No, apparently they are. I thought they were American, but they're not. But yeah, Excessive Guilt is great. Been really looking forward to that for a while. Obviously, it's got some of the tracks on it, like Guilt and stuff that they've had released for a while.
Yep.
But it's kind of finally them bringing, and the new tracks that they've got on there are really good too. Just this really like once again, like they're kind of fast, but not fast thrown. They're really like kind of powerfully like heavy. But like I also just like the way that he writes like some of his lyrics. Like Guilt's a really like good, like nasty song. It's a lot. They're quite a not depressive's the wrong word, but like they're quite a like hopeless band in a way, which I quite like. It's a vibe with Throne. It's like this kind of like wanting to be better in a really difficult world of like being better and knowing that you're a very broken person. And the entire album
very real for a lot of people.
Very much from that. So I've really enjoyed that quite a few times from start to finish.
That's cool.
With the older tracks that then put on the album and then the newer tracks they put on as well. They've also been playing around a lot, like there's quite a lot of new metal influences on there as well, so there's quite a bit of new metal-y stuff on there. I'd say definitely check it out, it's well worth it.
They're supporting a big band soon,
they've been supporting all over the shop. I've realised now I've realised that they're European. It makes more sense why they're over here all the time, because I kept thinking they were American and I was like, oh, they're over here a fair bit, but they've been really clever. They get themselves on like as opening bands on loads of these. They just did it with While She Sleeps or whatever it was.
That's tonight, in fact.
Oh, is that tonight? Is it? Well, there you go then.
I think that's
Throne
tonight.
are actually here, so Throne are here. They're opening that one, so and I'm really looking forward to seeing them. They are at Bloodstock, so that'll be the first time I actually get to see them live, probably, unless I manage to catch them before that. But yeah, really good. Really looking forward to that. And then so Blood Incantations.
I mean, we've already reviewed that album. It's
we
fucking incredible.
have, yeah. I mean, I think it's worth bringing up again. If you haven't, go back and listen to the review, maybe for a slightly more in-depth thing. But it was just great.
It was
really
2 episodes ago, wasn't it? It was episode 8, I think we did that one.
Yeah. It's just awesome from start to finish. Real proper Journey album. Just this insanely well done blend of like, intergalactic theremins, as I said on the thing. Yeah. Two theremins.
You were very excited by that.
And it was just really well done and really well put together and a real breath of fresh air for me, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm the same. When I first heard it was like, David already said it's like, this is being classed as like album of the year.
It kind of like, all right.
Yeah, of course, yeah, sure. And then I listened to it and went, oh wow, this is different. I'm hooked. And as we said in episode 8, you have to listen the whole way through.
Yeah, this is an album. This is an album.
Yeah,
from start
100%.
to finish.
They've done such a good job of that album.
Yeah.
Other ones for me, I realise this episode's not be long, but sure, we're having fun.
This is
people will listen or they won't. The other ones for me, I had to think about this one quite hard actually. So Blood Incantation was one of them. I'm going to say a few notable ones that should be in there. Judas Priest, Invincible Shield. A classic Judas Priest album. If you like modern day Judas Priest, it fucking kicks ass.
I liked it. I think it was the one before that, the Weapons, what was it called? Fucking like Weapons of War or something like that.
Yes, something like that. Yeah. When I was actually thinking about the top 3, Blood Incantations one, then one I'm going to give, which I think has got actually, it's very underrated for what it actually is Kerry King's solo album.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember you talking about that before.
From Hell I Rise is called.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like Slayer in the 80s, this is a more modern version of it. Because obviously it's Kerry King, he wrote most of Slayer riffs, right?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's just a solid album, a solid trash album.
I definitely need to listen to it. I need to give it some time, for sure.
I said, if you're a Slayer fan from the early stuff, it's that just better produced.
Yeah, okay,
I mean, it's very, very good.
Well, especially now Slayer aren't really back together, I mean, they kind of play the occasional, they play the occasional show still, which...
Apparently Kerry King didn't know about that. He was just like, okay, I'm doing my solo stuff, we shouldn't have stopped. Oh, we're back together again. Okay, fine. But, I highly recommend listening to that album. It's just a straight up trash album.
I love old school Slayer. So I do need to put it on at some point. It's on my list of like things that I've got I should listen to at some point. You know what I mean?
He never wanted to be a Slayer album, but then at the same time he's like, I've been Slayer for like 30, 40 years. So
like you said, to
that's how I write.
A lot of Slayer's sound is.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
So you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So I'd put that in there, and then the other one, which is a gig I saw here at the Griffin, was Kill All the Gentlemen. The album's called Black Canvas.
Wow, that's in your top 3.
It's incredible album.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was even listening to today. It was just everything about that album is just fantastic. Like, they're pushing the boundaries in every genre possible.
Yeah.
But it works so well.
Yeah.
Like, they're so technical. Like, they're doing sweep picking harmonies, and you're like, that's insane. But but then the drummer's matching them. You're like, this is also insane. Okay. And they they dabble in lots of different genres, but it works so good. They
need to check these guys out.
I really want to see them get bigger. Because they're fun dudes. They're nice fellas.
Definitely need to go see them next time they play around here, because I'm getting a lot of like really good. You, John, everyone's telling me that these guys are really worth checking out.
I am going to start. Well, I've already started following them on all accounts, and when I start seeing them anywhere local, I'm definitely going to get.
100%. Okay. Cool.
I'd like to see them in as I said on the review afterwards, the only thing that killed it was only about 15 people here.
Yeah, that's how you start.
Yeah,
that's how you start.
They absolutely tore the place a new one.
But that album's worth it then. Yeah.
I bought it there and then. And
what's the album called, sorry?
Black Canvas.
Oh, Black Canvas, cool.
Very, very good.
Kill All the Gentlemen, Black Canvas. All right, cool.
So that'd be my top 3.
That's the songs and the albums. All right then.
They're the hard ones. Top 3 gigs in Bristol / of the year. It doesn't have to be in Bristol.
Well, I think we can easily cross one off because we spent this podcast talking about it.
Yeah, it's Fit for an Autopsy. Absolutely.
Obviously, we've just talked about it. We're not going to go into it. The reason, though, I will give is I think part of it was like having, for me, obviously, you really enjoyed Darkest Hour as well, which adds to it. Even though I thought, like I said, they were a bit mid. For me, like Harriet, Silosis, and Fit for the shows that those 3 bands
they could have all been headliners
in that gig, easy. And it was so worth £30.
Absolutely.
I felt like I got a bargain just watching those 3 albums.
I 100%
once again, SWX, amazing sound. The gig was great, really good time.
There was a good bunch of us there as well.
Good bunch of us there, so that always helps as well. Like good mates and stuff. Had a really good time, had a lot of fun.
Yeah, 100%. That's in my top.
That's an easy one to cross off. Just rewind the podcast, listen to what we just
go back about 2 hours,
and have a listen to that. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, sure. Crack on.
So now I'm going to go to the Griffin. Because funny enough,
Griffin is the best bar in Bristol.
It is. I love it, and also had one of my best gigs of this year. Bristol gigs, Raised by Owls. Had a great time. They were so much fun.
Or you nearly broke your toe and you won a t-shirt for headbanging.
Which still hurts every now and again now a little bit.
Dani's just left the building.
Yeah, I don't think she's having a cough. I think she's trying not to cough really heavily by the microphones.
That's fair.
We are still slightly ill. Raised by Owls were so much fun. Just like. Fun, great. Like the vibe was great because like there was a lot of people here. Like it sold out.
It sold out. Yeah.
So it was like a really like fun, intimate but funny show. Everyone was up for it. Like the opening bands were great as well. Like really good. Like Umberia were great. Really enjoyed.
You've talked about them a few times.
Yeah. They've been playing quite a few shows now as well. And I'm telling you, like for a really good, solid thrash band. And like I said, I think definitely a band. If you see them,
go check them out.
They were great, and then Raised by Owls themselves, like I said, just so much fun. Had so much fun at the gig, had a really good laugh. It's been a while since I've just had a really good fun, local fun gig like that. So that's easily up there for me for this year, gigs in Bristol. And then my last one was the All Dayer that I went to. If you remember, once again, go back to the podcast, kind of for the full review of that All Dayer at the Exchange. Really, really fun. Chris, who put it on, did a really good job. Really great mix of like hardcore bands and then that's where
you found some new bands as well.
New bands and it was just great. I think for like a really great mix of like local bands and bands from outside of Bristol. Clobber were there obviously from London. You had Empire of Dust. Obviously I hadn't heard of before. They were like the Doomy outfit that I found out they all like live in Easton and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just had a really good time there. It was a really good vibe, and for the money, it was ridiculous that you got to see fucking 20 bands or some shit. Upstairs, downstairs, really nice mix of bands, really good vibe. Had a really good day.
Awesome.
Even though that was the day that the fucking far right were trying to set hotels on fire and shit, it was.
It didn't actually take away from the gig experience, which is good.
Yeah, and good. It felt really good local scene stuff. So those are my 3.
I think the other ones I would add to that for me personally was Heart of a Coward and Humanity's Last Breath.
Of course, the one I didn't make it to. Yeah,
such a good gig.
There you go. That's all right.
You have the mic. You can talk too. That one blew me away because I've been a fan of Heart of a Coward for many years. It's the first time I got to see him live. And it was kind of like, the way you said earlier, like Silosis came out and they fucking tore the place apart. And you're like, Fit for an Autopsy, you're never going to do it. And then they come and tear the place apart.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Like, I didn't really know Humanity's Last Breath before then.
Yeah.
But my God, they were just insane.
Yeah.
It was just the sound of the apocalypse and I just wanted to be there. Like, it was just this intense wall of sound. I never heard anything like it. Like, it was just insane. Bristol-wise, the other one that really stands out to me was Cradle Filth. And I bring this one up because I know we are a bit harsh on the O2 often. Like every episode's basically fuck the O2.
Fuck the O2.
Normally, because that's true. However, that Cradle Filth gig was A, the best I've ever seen him, and B, was probably the best gig I've ever been in O2. Like, everything worked really well, sound was fantastic, it wasn't sold out, you could walk around. Okay, you still have to pay 30 quid for a t-shirt and £8 for a pint, but security had got in, I saw all the bands I wanted to see. It was the first night of the tour, so Cradle Filth were well informed, and it was just before the damnation as well. It was fucking excellent, like, it was so good. I was just stood there and went, this is peak, this is ace. So yeah, that's the Bristol one to me. Let's do one non-Bristol one. What do you think? What was your highlight?
I know, I guess Damnation for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's my non-Bristol highlight. Obviously, once again, you can go back, listen to my kind of full chat about that, but it was just great. It was just great. And funny enough, leads into kind of something I'm going to talk about later with one of our later things as well, but which I've already kind of talked about too. But just really good, really great time. Damnation's great. It's got me kind of hyped. Like I said earlier, like
when you came back after, you basically said you've now got a new fondness of
funny
music.
Enough, I'm going to bring that up in a bit. And like I said, I think actually Damnation next year is something we could all look at going to. I think it's great. I think it's a great little festival. I think it's affordable. I think what you get for the value for money is insane.
And you now figured out we can stay in the city centre
and
commute
loads of
out.
stuff. It's really easy to get around. I understand it a lot more now. I just think like the value you get for money, you get to see a lot of bands that normally wouldn't get like bigger shows or get these longer set times, or bands doing full albums and like all this kind of stuff that you just don't get anywhere else, that I definitely wouldn't get at something like Download or even Bloodstock to a certain extent, and I think it's really worth it. So that's my outside of Bristol one for sure.
My outside Bristol one is Rammstein Dublin.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
That's the second time I've seen that show, and it's just incredible.
It's incredible, yeah.
There's just so much fire and theatrics and everything going on there. It's an incredible show.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about it is you walk into it's a stadium. They're playing Rammstein on the speakers as people are walking in, and the opening act are a pianist, duet. They're two piano players. Pianist.
You are saying
I'm on borderline there.
Borderline saying something very different. I was like,
people who play pianos.
Pianist.
Those people.
I was like, is that a German sex band?
They might be. But yeah, they spend an hour covering Rammstein songs on piano.
Oh, that's done now. Yeah, like don't play the band that we're about to listen to on the speakers, and we don't need a cover band of the band that we're about to listen to. Like, we're here to see. We've literally paid all the money to watch the main thing. Like,
it's expensive but worth it. Like it was a hell of a gig.
The only time that might work is if it's somebody like Richard Cheese or something like that doing like his,
Richard Cheese.
Yeah.
Right. Next question for you. The best new find of the year.
So, I'm glad that this is the next one because this ties into what I was just saying before. So, I'm kind of cheating with this question. My best new find of the year for me personally is kind of, and funny enough, it's thanks to this podcast in a way.
Good.
As well. Thanks to Dave, thanks to John, thanks to you, Tom, and Danny as well. But and the Damnation thing definitely kind of did it for me. Was kind of rediscovering my love of like all the different genres of metal.
Yeah.
I think I'd become a little bit stuck in a rut with what I was listening to. I think I'd gotten a little bit stuck, and it was kind of like feeling a bit flat with the more like alternative heavy music scene.
Happens all of us.
And so you're right, it does. And I think that for me this year, that's the thing that I've refound, is that kind of love of like, different music, different subgenres within it, like discovering new bands within like heavy music, and having a really good time with it. And I feel a lot more refreshed musically. I feel a lot more excited about the scenes. I feel a lot more excited about bands. I feel a lot more excited about gigs.
I couldn't agree with you more, actually. Yeah. I've said this to you numerous times, said in every episode, like it's quite exciting kind of exploring a bit more and kind of feeling more connected to the scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of opening that door and under the ground and kind of going, oh, this is a thing.
And being more connected to the Bristol music scene as well, like the Bristol local scene, and like being around it a lot more and kind of seeing familiar faces and seeing bands again and like talking to them and
100%
stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun.
And finding new genres and kind of going, oh, this is exciting again.
I'm looking forward to doing more of that next year. So,
likewise.
Yeah, that's my one.
Was there any band that you found that you really liked?
No, I can't really pin it down. That's why
Lynn were up there.
I mean, maybe Lynn, but there's a bunch of others. So you say Lynn, you say Hexus, you say a bunch Umberia, like they're really solid. Like like going to the more local stuff, like a lot of it. Like I couldn't really narrow that down to one band. So that's why I've kind of cheated and gone like my love of heavy music kind of being more back.
I mean, I like that. I do like that because I've had exactly the same feeling, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I like that we've found these bands and we're finding new genres, and it's going to see new things and finding new venues and new friends, and it's just been really good. Yeah. If I was to go on bands, I would say Uada, who I mentioned in episodes. They were like the band we reviewed last week. They were just so fucking cool live. They were just fantastic. Highly recommend them. Yeah. They're this kind of new modern black metal, which I'm totally down for. Like it seems to be. I don't know how long it's been around, but I only came across it this year. And if that's how black metal is going forward, I'm in. Like consider me a black metal fan. So what else shall we ask you? Just to throw it out there.
Well, what's the next one? Is subgenre that you've enjoyed the most? Funny enough, I mean, you've kind of just answered my question by talking about that. It is this black and hardcore thing. Yeah. So you said about Lynn, I said about Hexus, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we've talked about this on the podcast last few episodes, but like that kind of, and when we reviewed, I've forgotten their name now. I don't have it written down. In the
Diarrhea.
Yes, like in the last episode and stuff like this. I mean, you kind of just touched on it basically, but whatever this is, this black and hardcore, new black metal kind of sounding
black,
stuff.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like it's, the way that they're recorded, the way that it sounds, especially live. And I've gotten to see some of it live. Like it
takes the best parts of black metal and amplifies it.
Yeah, for me, definitely, for sure. So I'm very excited to see where this kind of subgenre goes, basically. So,
I mean, I'm absolutely with you. That's exactly what I wrote down as well.
Yeah.
I was always a kind of melodic death kind of metalcore kind of fan. I found myself over the year going more and more heavy. Yeah. But I think I'm really focusing in on this new blackened genre.
Whatever it is. Whether it's called black and hardcore or whatever, I don't know. But like it seems to be getting called that, I think. So like certain bands are anyway. So definitely like that kind of vibe. I'm all over it.
100% totally there with you. And I think my final question for you. No, we might have one more after this. The biggest metal moment of the year.
I mean, I think we both agree on this one as well, don't we? We talked about it's Gajira at the Olympics. It's got to be Gajira at the Olympics. Danny already brought it up. Like, it's 100%. It's got to be that, hasn't it?
Every time I watch that video, the hairs on my arm just stand up. Like, it is just insane.
This is fucking great. And it's just great.
The amount of press they've got after is fantastic.
Great moment for metal. Big shout out to whoever the fucking French Olympic organisers are, because they fucking knocked out the park on that one.
And they put Gajira into the stratosphere now.
Yeah, 100%. Which they always deserve to be in. Yeah. Funny enough, really.
It's funny, isn't it? Something like that happens. No one. Oh, my son was watching it and cried. Yeah. They were literally had like blood spattered everywhere and everything. Jimmy Kimmel show.
Beheaded Mary Antoinette's everywhere. What was it he came out and said afterwards? It was something like, heavy metal is always about like wine and death and sex or something like that. It's just like, what else you want? It's like, it's supposed to be representing France or something. He's like, wine, death and sex. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, for me that was incredible. It still is.
It's great. No, it is really great.
And even watching all the, there's like a vocal coach who like watches metal to understand what they do and stuff. And she listened to it and went, "Oh my god!" It's just an excellent performance.
If you still haven't watched it yet, you're living under a rock, and you still haven't watched Gajira, just put it on YouTube.
Yeah, Gajira Olympics.
It's going to be one of those ones that you can go back to and just watch for years to come. I think just
by far the best Olympic opening ever.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that as a metalhead, but like it was actually incredible.
It was a lot of fun. Like it's
really, really cool.
A great opening one. I think the last one, like I said, I think I what we talked about this originally at the time, was the China one, just because that one was so it was insane. Like what was it, like 5,000 children all drumming at the same time dressed as dinosaurs? Like, so it's like, whatever.
That's pretty up there.
I know, right? But so this was definitely the one that's entertained me the most in a long time. Like I said, I really don't fuck with the Olympics, so the fact that they've got me looking that way.
Talking about it.
Talking about it is pretty impressive.
And watching that video like 1,000 times.
Yeah, 100%.
It's got some amount of views it does now.
I know,
it's
good,
in the millions.
good. And like I said, I think it'll just be one of those metal moments that we just go back to be honest, I think.
30 years time we're talking about.
Yeah.
Remember Gajira did the Olympics?
The Olympics, yeah.
And now I think the two hardest questions.
Oh.
The top album recommendation from Dave from Black City.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think though we've already answered that though.
Blood
as well,
Incantation, I would say.
Blood Incantations again, isn't it?
Next one.
They just did such a good album, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
was just a great recommendation. And
I also really like the last one, the Gaira.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think maybe we just use this time for a second. Just a massive shout out to Dave at Black City. You know, he's been giving us these recs. Obviously, not all of them we've enjoyed, but you know, it's been really great, interesting journey. I think
really opened up our eyes.
Yeah, and I think it's also helped me and you to kind of understand a bit more of what we like. Like we just talked about that before with the genre thing. Like, if you go back and listen to some of the reviews, like some of the like more black metal stuff that we struggle with is things like it is some of these recording styles and things like that, or these vocal choices that you see in like I think it's helped me and you. What he's done with the recommendations, even if we haven't liked them, is he's helped us to gain a better understanding of like metal, like and what
100%,
like the bits of like how things work and stuff. So I've just been really grateful. Thank you so much, Dave.
Yeah,
like,
thank you, Dave.
You know,
absolutely,
and,
you've opened our world.
Yeah,
and thank you.
Massive shout out to Black City. You know, it's just such a great record shop, and
everyone go buy some records.
Yeah.
We can recommend loads.
Yeah.
As can Dave.
Yeah.
And one final question for you.
Yeah.
Let's go your favourite drink at the Griffin.
Well, for me, we're not going to be going too far back in the thing because it's that whatever the cans of that bastard beer were that got me really
the arrogant bastards.
Yeah, before I went to the fucking soil gig. So you know what, like £8 a crack, but you know they're very, very, very strong. So you know, pay £8 extra to get absolutely wasted. To be fair, it also did taste very nice. So.
Funnily, you bring that one up because I was going to say the Double Bastard is probably one of the best ones.
Really? Yeah,
which was
what's the brewery again?
Stone.
Good shout out, Stone Brewery.
I think it's Stone.
Yeah. I think it is. I remember you saying it before. Yeah.
If that's not right, I'm going to get crucified by one of my friends, but I think it's Stone.
We think it's Stone. Anyway, that beer is really nice.
Yes.
It's very Moorish for how strong it is. And
very strong. It'll fuck you up so you won't remember style.
Exactly.
The same.
Exactly. Or hanging out with Union Underground.
Yeah.
For 3 hours in a locker.
Having shots and being best friends.
Yeah.
Won't hold that against you. It's fine. Yeah. It's like you won't hold corn against me. It's fine too.
So thank you, John, as well. Thank you, John, for having such a great pub to come and have such a good time in, and you know, so many good times had at the Griffin. You know,
and many more to have. Hopefully.
Many more to have as well. I'm really looking forward to it, and
everyone come out, support your locals, go to gigs, come to the Griffin.
Local bands, local pubs. They need you more than ever at the moment. Like,
absolutely,
especially in this country, not just in Bristol, all over the place. Like, you know, no government, doesn't matter what government they are, they don't seem to like live music or pubs at all, and they're doing everything in their power to fucking try and crush out.
It's a huge money maker. Like, why would you get rid of it?
Yeah, but they prefer it all to be in the hands of a select few companies like the O2 or Ticketmaster, or you know. Yeah. So yeah, definitely go out, support local, drink local, do your best too if you can,
and come see us in the pits, and come see us in the pub. And,
woo! Yeah.
I think that brings us nicely to a very long episode, but hopefully everyone's enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, we've got, I think just before we sign off, we've got a very special, our next recording is going to be a very special double episode.
Yep.
We will have Dave from Black City and John of the Griffin on the podcast for the first time. And
finally we get them.
A very special double episode that we'll be splitting in two to release over the Christmas and New Year period before we come back in January. So. Just
so you won't miss us too much. Yes. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a few beers, chat some crap, be good. Get their history, see what got them into it, etc.
Thank you so much, Danii, as well. It's been amazing.
Thank you as always.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teo.
Thank you.
Thank me too. Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah, thanks, Tom.
I don't get that often. Thanks, everyone. We love you all. We'll see you in the pits.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.